Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Imris Saga Rising Shadows, Chapter 3, Session 5. Get into it today. We just had a very long discussion about a variety of very off-topic things, so I'm hoping that this is going to be a great session. Hopefully we'll be joining us in a little bit, but they are not here right now. Everybody else is, though. So I will quickly recap for you what happened last session. You guys went to go and seek out Lothkar, this kind of renegade Duergar leader that you had been directed to, thanks to Will talking to some guards. Along with them, you kind of found out some things about what was going on with the Duergar, but not quite everything. But you still decided to band together with them and kind of make an assault on the keep, while a lot of the Duergar went at the front gate as a kind of distraction. You, along with Lothkar, snuck in the side entrance that you had previously scouted out and went into the throne room to challenge them directly. Correct. You did some preparation before going in, finding that, as Lothkar had suggested, an old friend of Sulveran's was there, Kalasht. She was in the throne room, kind of seemingly ensorcelled somehow, their soul captive, but their this new form kind of working, being directed by the demon. There was a battle in this throne room around this platform, where you guys went hard on the demon that was in the room, killing them within a couple rounds, and then kind of duking it out for a little bit before the combined efforts of Sulveran and Will were able to use magic to both dispel and kind of rejuvenate Kalasht's soul, releasing them from their bondage.
That's a real nice way to pronounce disintegrate.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
as they Thanos'd away.
Until the haste wears off, I do think Medea just keeps hacking at the demon's dead body for like the last 20 seconds when the fight is.
I mean, you could just kick them off into the lava if you really wanted to.
No, they look like they're still fully engaged in combat, like hacking at this thing until it's...
Uba Part 2. Yeah, it's like Uba in that, second session?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God help us all.
Alright, we should probably let him complete his explanation of what happened last session when he gets back.
Mm-hmm.
But also
we're uncensored on the stream.
Oh my god.
Whose idea was this?
Sean, do you have anything interesting to tell the audience?
I've already gone off about cheese and nipples.
What's your favorite inappropriate topic to talk about in public?
Like in my hometown? Like, are we talking about like I'm at a bar in my hometown and like a white dude in camo and a high-vis jacket has just sat next to me and is now expecting me to like be on the same plane of racism that he is on?
I left for 5 seconds.
Yeah, what would you say? What's the first word that comes to your mind?
Well, quite frankly, at one point I did get to deliver the long line. I can't do it now. I don't have it memorized anymore. But I got to deliver the line from Kingsman about I am a gay whore in Congress with my black Jewish boyfriend, da-da-da. I got to deliver that line to one of the yokels in my hometown, and it remains one of those moments that every once in a while I'm pouring a drink and I'm like, I deserve another little bit for that, and I make it a little bit stronger just because past me got to have that moment. So, for the kids out there, kids being 18 and up, I highly recommend you having just a line in your back pocket that you're ready to throw out at any given time to make a racist angry.
So Andrew's back, so that's now officially Alveron's story.
Yeah.
That is that is what Alveron is explaining to us over.
Right,
Alveron's just saying this while Medea is attacking the demon.
There was a delivery at the door that I had to go get real quick. So I apologize for that. I was hoping that they would be here earlier.
I
We
just
still
thought
love you.
All right.
so
So
tender.
disintegrations.
So yes, Kalash had disintegrated, leaving behind only this Raven's Feather totem, which Sulveran is now holding. Lothkar was given the crown and then went and sat upon the throne. And that is where we have ended. So you guys are kind of sitting or standing around in the aftermath of this battle. As Lothkar is just having a moment, it seems, to himself. You can kind of still very faintly hear the sounds of combat happening off in the distance, probably at the gates or somewhere over that way. But you also do know that you do know the way to where the dungeons are, thanks to Lothkar having given you a map. Lothkar will turn and look at you as you guys are kind of standing, taking a second, and say, "Thank you. I will return to my troops. You can go about your business. The keep may still be dangerous, and there is still the dragon about. Don't let your guards down. I have business in the higher towers. I doubt we will see each other again. I'm not sticking around." But he's kind of taking a moment to heal his wounds, since he did get, hit pretty hard there at the very end of the combat.
I will say, while he is standing there doing that, Sulveran is not making any particular move to help him. He's very slowly putting that Raven's Feather totem, tucking it into kind of like where his cloak and his armor meet, where it'll be secure, but he's not yet putting it around his neck. And he is going to check on Medea, since I don't think Alveron or Uba got hit, and Medea is currently in automaton murder mode.
I think Medea's also incredibly fucked up. Like they're almost dead, HP wise.
Medea
they
is
got
covered in demon blood for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Medea drops their spear at some point, and before the end of haste is just full on wailing on it with their fists.
I think then that Sulveran, looking at Medea, kind of tilting his head to square up at them and decide when, without particular concern, when they reach out to do another blow, just kind of steps in the way and says, very sternly, "Medea, it's over."
They have the same look as when you've caught a cat with something in its mouth that it knows it shouldn't have,
Yeah, yeah. Sulveran just
there is the instant switch from to fear to fear of dying to fear of oh, am I in trouble now?
Yeah. So Sulveran just makes sure they are meeting his gaze, and once he's assured of that they've stopped, he is going to look them over. And give me a second, because I need to figure out what spell slots I can use on this. But y'all carry on with the RP. He is, though, this is probably the first time Medea's looked at him since the battle was joined. And while his face is placid and neutral again, his the paint that he wears around his eyes to represent the birds of Mordain has become smeared in a way that it hasn't yet amongst the sweat of battles. It drips down his face to his jaw, and even though it's clearly been running, there are no smears across to show that he's wiped anything away. It's just dribbled down, kind of like the crow in the Raven,
Yeah,
Is- Go ahead, Ramona.
Medea similarly is that you could see any kind of sweat or any kind of emotion, but they are just thoroughly covered in blood. And they stare up at them, and they're just again, it's more a confused expression more than one of anger, almost instantaneously. as they take a second to gather their thoughts. Is there still a dragon left somewhere?
Yes, and Torilus. But this battle is done. And he will commence to healing. Mars, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, while this is happening, is the body of Lord, is it Lord Zakan or Zakar?
Zakan.
Yeah, the body of Lord Zakan, is that still on the bridge, or was it pushed off or fell off into the lava?
No, I believe it's still on the bridge. I don't think Lothkar kicked it off.
Okay, I think that
you killed
Uba,
him.
while this is happening, I think Uba's aware that they want to talk to Sulveran about what happened, but it is also like, this might be a conversation for when we're not in a demon city. So Uba is kind of talking to Sulveran and Medea, but is actively pickpocketing Zakan's dead body. And says, I think it's important that we take a bit of a rest here and save up our strength, but we should probably keep going. I don't know if there's any other nasty surprises for us here. And they're saying this like actively, like hands in the pockets, hands like, just like maybe there's some gold here. I don't know.
Go ahead, make
we
an
should probably get moving.
investigation check for me as you search through the dead guy.
Can I make an investigation check by Medea staring and just pointing if Uba misses something?
You have it trained, right? You could give him advantage.
Yeah, see if you can get a nat 20.
Okay. Let me roll again.
It's always worth it just in case.
Both good, but first one better.
So you kind of quickly look through his person, kind of checking underneath the plate mail to see if they have anything on them. They are carrying a pouch that does have 6 gems in them. You quickly open it up, see the sparkles, and then close it back up.
Very nice.
While he's doing that, while they're doing that, Sulveran will tell Uba, Uba, be mindful. He did say that Kalash was his puppet, and I'm still not entirely certain how that was achieved.
Uba thinks about this and nods stoically, but still puts the gems in their pocket, and says, I think we'll at least give a little bit of condolences, and says, Sulveran, I'm sorry about what happened to your friend, but I'm glad that they were at least free in the end.
Sulveran tilts his head back, studying Uba for a moment. You're right. She is free, and kind of a little abruptly turns away to double check the other bodies are all dead, even though it is obviously not a problem.
Yeah, I think that even though Uba's not the best with feelings, knows to drop it, and will be taking a peek at those gems. But will then say, what should our next move be?
Head to the dungeons, likely. Rest.
By now, Alveron has made it up with the rest of the group. Just do we have the ability to check? We're still it says we're still paused on my end. Is it?
Oh, I'm paused. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I always forget. The only thing that changes is movement.
Gotcha.
Prepare.
Just like I can't. I'm excluded. No. But is there any way that we can get a quick rough drawn map or a quick sketch of where we're headed, so that we're not just running into these catacombs and dungeons blind?
We were given a map.
Yeah,
that's my apology.
Lothkar did. I think Lothkar has it. He did show it to you. So you guys are kind of you actually went a little bit of the opposite way that you kind of would have wanted to go if you were going to go to Torilus first. So you need to kind of exit out to the main hall, and then double back a little bit where you were and make for the staircase. There's a long winding staircase that just heads down for a little bit until you arrive at this what on the map seemed like a pretty massive set of dungeons. You know that it's or Lothgar had mentioned that it's normally quite heavily guarded, although with the distraction, he imagines that there might just be a token force down there. Though the longer you wait, the longer the possibility that Lothgar's forces lose or the demons have reinforcements come increases.
I think Uba will say, unless there's anything else anybody needs to do here, any more healing, I think we should get moving. I can cast Without a Trace, or Pass Without a Trace one more time today.
I may need a moment to rest and heal. I'm not feeling at my most.
If that's the case, Uba is going to give you a Cure Wounds. If you'd like.
Yeah, Medea would accept it.
I'm not sure how good this will be. Uba's not the best healer, but we'll at least try.
Yeah, Medea mostly just looks very, like, their face is out of it. Oh, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Didn't we end up with healing potions from?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of healing potions, which you don't often use, I think.
Yeah.
You know that they should be on your sheets, I think.
Yeah.
I don't have any on mine, but maybe it's just because I don't have any.
I know we collected healing potions, but I don't know if we put them in the bag of holding or something. But I think we should probably, we should probably hit you with some healing potions.
Looks like Medea has 2 on them.
Maybe Will's carrying some of them, because I know we talked about it.
Uba, it looks like Uba has 1.
Yeah, I put that one in manually, though.
I know you guys have more, but it looks like nobody ever added them to sheets.
Huh.
You can check the group treasury. If it's in there, I'll let you use them.
I think Alveron, if I remember correctly, has 2. I think Sulveran gave Alveron 1 last time.
Really? Okay, the only potion I have is a potion of fire resistance, but I will... Yeah, I mean, if you believe I have those, I will definitely give one to Medea. I know you're not doing your best right now.
Alright, so I'm checking out the chat right now. We have 2 greater healing potions, 8 minor or regular healing potions.
Okay.
Yeah, so
2 greater.
Much more correct to me.
Okay, 2 greater healing, 8 normal.
Yeah, I can still dump a Cure Wounds or something on you. We don't have spell slots after rests if we have to get out, so I figured we'd pop first.
I will give 2 of those to Will real quick on the assumption that they would have to.
Okay. Would I know anything about... I can assume, not unfairly, that the dragon that's down here would be a shadow dragon, right? Like, this thing has been corrupted.
That's what has been suggested to you guys.
Would I know what kind of damage their breath does?
You could make me an Arcana check or history.
Okay.
Actually, Arcana or religion, I think a history check wouldn't tell you that.
27.
It would be necrotic damage.
Okay. Medea is naturally resistant to that. Would the potion help it? No, so yeah, the potion wouldn't help.
Well, the potion would heal you, but not the fire resist.
Yeah, those are something. Medea will chug one of the greater healing potions and a minor one, and then I'll accept the Cure Wounds.
Be 44 plus 4.
What's that minor healing potion?
I always forget the exact amount. I know it's 2d4 plus 2 for the normal. Yeah, greater should be 44 plus 4.
2d4 plus 2. Okay, so that's just going to be 6d4 plus 6 total. Okay, let's see how much this is. Not terrible rolls. That'll put me back up to 44, and then I'll see what Sulveran's Cure Wounds looks like before I dump some Lay on Hands into it.
Okay, then I'm going to hit you with a 3rd level Cure Wounds.
Damn.
I certainly want to have whatever HP I can for the upcoming fight.
Yeah, no. See what you look
We
like.
do want the
Assuming
slots, though.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Sure.
doing 3rd and not my last 4th.
I
Yeah.
That's fair.
think Kala, moving over, will say, if you're still injured, I feel like you should take the other greater healing potion. We don't use up too much of our other resources.
Yeah.
I suppose this is the situation for it,
Your lay on hands can be very potent
especially
in combat.
bringing somebody away from the brink of death. Yes. And then let's see the 44 plus 4. 70. That'll bring me up to 74 out of 80, which is more than enough.
Nice.
I'll
Yeah.
pick up my minor healing potion, another one, just to see if I can get the full.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna pop up minor healing potion too, because 70.
Yep, that's exactly enough to bring me to 80.
Nice.
I think it's -2. I think I added too many bonus. I think it's 2d4 plus 2, right?
Correct, yeah.
So
Yeah.
77.
Almost. Almost enough to get to 80.
You guys take a moment where a lot of quick chugging of potions goes on. Idea, you are feeling slightly sloshy, but much better in terms of your wounds.
We could be quick. Assuming this all goes down, I think we have to leave immediately for Torilus.
Yeah.
Uba nods in agreement.
So you guys are you casting Path Without Trace and stealthing, or are you just dashing?
Oh, I don't think we answered that. So I only have one left. So I don't know if it would be better to do that now or like once we get Torilus.
If you're running and like trying to be quick, it won't matter because you're not stealthing. You're just there's no way that you could be hidden even with
I think it's
with that.
More likely we have to sneak out of here.
I think Uba having the spell slot is going to matter more.
Okay. So if that's the case, I'll hold off for now.
Let's make like bandits.
And perhaps if it comes to it, you may need to use the skill to get Torilus out while the rest of us hold the rear guard.
Yes.
I must confess I am not used to feeling fear magically. This has been
What did Medea say? You cut out a bit.
They said, I must confess the feeling of fear magically like this is foreign to me.
Okay. You guys leave Lothkar, kind of parting ways. As he goes to rejoin the people outside. Yep.
I was going to say, with a 27 on that religion check, is there anything else important I should know about shadow dragons before the start of the fight?
Your religion check. So supposedly one aspect of the breath is that if it kills you, then you will your soul will be stolen. You will come back as some form of undead creature under the dragon's control, which is part of the reason why the great Vorkashai was so feared, because he turned armies into his minions like that.
Medea will, as they're like sort of sprinting, just say, if the dragon gets to you, be at your best. Drink potions, use magic. If you die, you will not come back. You will join its ranks. Your soul will be bound to the thing.
You also know that while it is in shadows, it gains resistances to most kinds of weapons. It kind of wears, or at least, you never fought this one in particular, but supposedly shadow dragons wear shadows like armor.
Would the sunlight javelin emit light for a time at least?
Yeah.
But if you have any magic left, save it to create light. Daylight if you can. We'll need it. If we're to fight it. And if you worry about fire consuming you or burning you, it is not flame in the traditional sense, but more a shadow that leaks and irks at your essence. I myself have a natural resistance to such things, but it will bite at the mind. That's Medea communicating its necrotic damage.
Alveron looks decidedly uneasy as we are. I mean, I'm guessing you're saying this as we're like running down the hallways and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Alveron doesn't stumble, but definitely looks. Oh, I think I need to get rid of some temp HP that I got buffed with at the start of the last fight.
Yeah. As Alveron starts to look more and more nervous, Sulveran will very helpfully say to him, "Our agreement from before still stands. I will not let you rise as one of those creatures."
Once we rescue Torilus, we should see if we can rest, but we might not be able to. Just the nature of it.
Okay, you rejoin Calandra and Max outside, who were kind of waiting at the door of the throne room, keeping an eye, checking to see if they needed to run in and save you at any point, which clearly was not necessary. You kind of start to dash through the halls, Medea's plate kind of clinging and clanging, echoing. You can hear at various different points above you the sounds of combat still, a couple shouting, "Rah!" Some clanging of metal on metal. But that fades as you find the one of the staircases that leads down. You're kind of hustling quickly, moving down these steps, getting your cardio in as you eventually arrive down at these. They look like catacombs that have been converted into a prison cell. Or prison cells rather. So it's like very old stonework, and you, Sulveran, you can see the symbolism of Mira and Mordain, which has since been defaced and replaced with demonic imagery laid on top of that symbology. You can also see as you enter in, Duergar in cells cower back from you, unsure of what is going on, as well as other creatures. As you're kind of moving in, you see dwarves, you see some other humans here and there. If one of you would like to lead this investigation for Torilus, go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
To find him?
Yeah. This is a very large prison. Like, there are maybe a couple hundred prisoners down here, and half as many cells.
Can anyone give me advantage if they're trained in it?
I am not.
I'm not either. But I was gonna say, I'm not sure how these cells would work, but could Uba do an investigation check to see if there's some sort of mechanism to open the gates? Or are they each like padlocked?
Kala will help you, Medea. They seem to be locked separately. There is no one big release switch. So if you want to,
for a jailbreak.
If you want to stop and help people, you'll have to. I won't make you make a thieves tools check for each individual cell. But I will have you make a thieves tools check to see how quickly you're able to move through the padlocks. And of course, if multiple of you are doing this, we'll do multiple checks, and that would speed things up if you want to try to save other people. But it is going to take time. It's not going to be like quick.
Jesus Christ, a 3 and a 1 with advantage. At least it's a 10.
I think that, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if it would be like tactical to have like all of these people running around as like a distraction if someone came in. Uba doesn't actually care about helping people. They're just like, human shield.
I think it's a terrible idea because if the dragon attacks us down here or something, that's like 50 minions instantly.
That's actually a fair point. So Uba wants to let people out, but will see reason.
some of the dwarves, as you're struggling with this, just to paint you the full picture, some of the dwarves and humans. None of the Duergar. The Duergar all seem scared of you. They don't know why you're down here, what you're about. But some of the Duergar, or some of the dwarves and humans, see you and they see normal people and they say, "You there? You don't look like you're with the demons. Help us!" And they're like rattling at cages, and they are making a little bit of noise as they're doing so. Please don't leave us here.
Sulveran is going to like call out along the bank of people that is like immediately staring at him. He's in due time. There is a beast about that we do not wish to take notice of you.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh boy, it's Sulveran's strong suit.
15.
It is.
Okay. Some of the people are still like, they don't freak out, which if you had rolled poorly enough, they might have just like freaked the fuck out and be like, no, we know not. Some of the people are still like, you still hear occasionally here and there, I'm a soldier, help me out, and I'll fight with you. And a couple other people echo this call, like they really don't want to stay in here any longer than they have to, and they're willing to fight and die if need be, but as long as they're not in here. As this is happening, Medea, Kala, will, all of you are kind of starting to fan out a little bit, not getting too far from one another, but checking the cells, and it does take you some time. You realize that Torilus is not in these kind of gen pop cells. And after like a good bit of searching, you do find a kind of a descending staircase. There's some dwarvish, or some Duergar rather, written above this staircase, which Uba eventually gets to and said, kind of reads it, and it says, "The depths."
Uba translates that and says, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think that might be where we need to go.
The depths. The sea has depths. I've been to the depths of the sea.
There's no place to go but forward.
All right. You leave the prisoners behind, some of them still kind of shaking at bars, frustrated that this a moment of hope was given to them and then dashed away. You left down. You walk down this set of stairs. The darkness kind of around you as you do so, looking left and right. You arrive at a much smaller section of this dungeon. It's a fair amount below, so you're quite deep underneath the citadel, really, and underneath the city as well. But it's a little bit more spacious, and you can tell as you're looking, most of these cells are not filled in comparison with the other prison, which was almost entirely, it was like packed. But Will kind of stops and looks and says, these bars are enchanted. I think this is where they keep the spellcasters, most dangerous prisoners.
I suppose the answer for where to look is obvious now.
It doesn't take you too long once you get down here to spot a cell with an older man, beard, hair unkempt. Looks like he's been down here for who knows how long. One arm kind of chained up, the other head lying back. They seem to be asleep or unconscious. But Kala will kind of, seeing them, goes up to the bar and shakes on them. Torilus, we're here. Get up. Looking at the bars and then glancing back, they are going to pull out a set of thieves' tools. Can any of you assist me?
Yeah,
I
I
will
can.
have with me as well. Yeah.
We should definitely check for magical traps first. Like, yes, speed is important right now, but slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Like Alveron is flashing back to when he got his mind invaded because he wasn't careful. So like checking for magical traps and everything else, like that's they're not going to give up their prey that easily.
As Alveron makes that commentary and is clearly taking his time and thinking it through, Sulveran reaches out and, for once, as he touches Alveron, instead of it being a steady grip on the shoulder, he just places his hands briefly over his eyes and then draws them away, and says, "May Syl show you what you seek."
Is there a was there only one entrance? Because I was gonna say Uba might hang back there. I think they might be more helpful, kind of hiding and scouting.
You only saw one entrance to the depth, as far as you could tell.
The one that we came down?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think Uba is going to go and stealth over there. Just in case someone starts coming down the stairs, they can get the jump on them.
And in comparison to the prison up above, which had several entrances and exits, this only. Okay, Alveron, you Kala kind of steps back and says, "I'll back you up then." If you would like to make me a thieves' tools check, you can have advantage.
Got it. All right, and that's
You got the +5 from the gloves, plus your dex, plus your proficiency modifier.
yep.
So you have a +5 dex. That's going to be 14 at
14.
advantage.
Yep.
You should be able to click it in your inventory as well.
It is in there actually. Yeah. Is it in my inventory? Let me check. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
How long have I been using these? Oh, it is actually in there. Ah, shit. All right, and then so this will be it.
Okay. Quite deftly, thanks to your gloves and Kala's quite expert assistant, you both kind of slow down, take some time, look over the bars, and Kala is trying to assist more magically with the runes and trying to help you figure out if there's any magical traps like that. As you're looking it over, there doesn't seem to be any mechanical traps. You think you're safe in that regard. Kala will point out some. It does appear to be warded in many different ways against exiting, leaving. Particularly, a lot of these wards are meant to prevent any sort of teleportation in and out and stuff like that. But if you were to open it without the key, there is a trap that will go off that will cause an explosion down here. Alveron, you think that you can pick your way through it, but it is not the easiest of things. So you kind of take your time, slowly going out with the lockpicks until it opens. You pull down this chain and slide the gates open. You all can see now that Torilus has woken up. His lips are like incredibly dry and chapped. You're not sure when the last time he had water was, but you don't think it's been recently. He's looking thin, but not emaciated. They definitely have been giving him some food, but he is wearing like rags at this time. This is not the archmage that you maybe had in your mind at this moment. He looks up and he says, Alveron, you quickly pick his manacle off, which his hand falls limply, reaches at it. Looking up. Sorry, what did you say?
We have kept the book safe. Medea predicting that'll be his first question.
Have you seen any of my things here? took everything important.
We did not think to. We came for you as quickly as we could. I will go check now if you want.
Don't bother taking too long if you can't find them quickly. Sulveran, you think that he is, in this moment, mechanically has several levels of exhaustion and is missing a significant chunk of his health points. You can see that.
All right.
Okay.
Sulveran is going to look to the others and say, one of you at least with them, and I will do what I can for him.
I'm going to go look for his things, and they'll look to Kala for help.
Kala seems reluctant to leave, but will say, I'll help you out.
I think it's good to reunite him with his equipment as soon as we can.
Particularly his spell book, if we can find it.
I'll throw his one arm over my shoulder and just start to ratchet him up and pick up and start moving with him. I probably won't be able to move it with him the whole time, but if we can do trade-offs, that way we can keep the party moving and not burn out too quick.
Is this investigation for the finding
Yes. And
Yeah.
Will assist you. What's your bonus? Oh, sorry.
it? +7.
Okay. Yeah, Will assist. Okay.
Oh, aha. I'm going to, rather than just spend a bunch of slots, I'm going to Aura of Vitality. So I'll pop that into the chat to work on him and Medea before they step away for one last thing. So Sulveran is going to he's studying Torilus for a long moment and finally shakes his head and settles down for a moment. It's not a ritual cast, so it's still fast. Hold on. Okay, yeah, it's still a single action cast. So he rubs his hands together, and when he spreads them apart, there's a soft bluish white glow that just slowly spreads. And then it focuses in, ignoring the others, and focuses in. And every 6 seconds, he's going to heal a bit.
Okay. Just roll me 10 turns, 20d6, I think.
Yeah. And then I'll spend whatever's left over on me.
It's functionally just like a insanely jacked version of Prayer of Healing if you have the time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's very nice. Of course, at this point, Sulveran's going to be hitting things a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And you said 20?
Wow, you rolled 5 or 2, so go ahead and just roll 18.
Okay.
No,
That's fine.
the word towards that.
I like that they couldn't even all lie flat.
Jeez.
That's not bad healing for a 3 for a 3rd level spell slot.
Mm-hmm. Does it add your modifier each time or no? I forgot.
No, it's just,
I mean, the second one did.
It's
Yeah.
just straight 2d6.
Yeah.
God, that's got to be cracked on a life cleric.
I wouldn't know. There's a brilliant healing class called Life Cleric, and I played a Death Cleric.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, it's definitely not going to be enough to get him back to full. He stops being bloodied with 12 left. If you want to use those on yourself.
Okay. No, because I'm pretty close to full.
I think if when
What?
Medea gets back, we think it would be good to dump some HP into him from Lay on Hands.
Well, it depends on let's see what we can do about his spellbook.
Yeah.
Because
True.
if he's useful.
Okay. He's looking much better. I mean, he still has the exhaustion. You can't do anything about that without spending a lot more spell slots. Medea, you do look around. You find what seems to be some robes and armor that you think belong to Torilus by description, as well as a sword. you gather up all of this. There is some. There's a bag here that you think is a bag of holding. You're not sure what's in it, but you grab that as well.
Mhm.
You do not see a spell book. You think you and Will kind of look at each other and think they probably took that far out of here, and it's you don't think you're going to be able to find it.
Yeah, to find it, you'd need to do like a huge search. Like it would take hours.
You're like it could be anywhere in the Citadel if it's not here.
It's probably under
Would
security, if anything, or magical lock.
would something like that show up on a detect magic cast?
It definitely would. If you could see it, you would see that it was magical. A spellbook.
Gotcha.
In was didn't we have a thing that let us? Maybe we didn't have a thing that lets us look for magic stuff. It's just the invisibility, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
You have the True Sight helmet.
All right. So when Will and Medea get back, then Sulveran says, "Well, we do have numerous scrolls. Can you still cast these?" And it's directed at Torilus.
He kind of looks at them. Thanks for a minute. Yes. I'm going to be slowing you down quite a bit, I think.
We can carry you.
But I've never been too proud to say no to that. But
I've been supporting him up to now, so keep going.
Yeah, he can like stand on his own at this point, but he and technically, technically he is healed to full because he only has half his HP right now. So Sulveran, you can actually take those 12 if you want.
Oh, sure, happily.
I just was double checking the level of exhaustion that he's at again.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I already spent that greater restoration. So yeah, I'm assuming we're hightailing it out of here.
Yeah, I don't see.
They got anything else that they? Okay.
Cal will shoulder him with Alveron and say, "You don't have any other reason to stay."
Did Uba hear anything while they were lurking by the door?
I'll make a perception check. That's a good point. You're kind of looking, hitting out. You can still hear the prisoners now kind of whispering idly to each other, wondering if you guys are going to come back and help them actually, or if they're just going to be stuck down here still. Some of them are kind of chattering about wondering what's happening up above, or what was happening up above. You cannot hear any sounds of combat, at least down here anymore. But they definitely heard some stuff up above because there were big fireballs being cast. You do hear after a minute or so, like once the party's getting ready to get going again, two voices and somebody who bangs on a bars somewhere kind of echoes ding ding ding, and you hear a voice in Dwarvish in Duergar speak saying, "Hi, maggots, shut up. We're almost done dealing with upstairs."
I think with that, if the party is getting close, it was gonna like hold up their hand in like a stop motion, and is gonna kind of hustle over to them and whisper, "I think I hear 2 guards upstairs. There may be more, but I'm not sure, and I don't hear the fighting anymore."
If there are 2, perhaps we move quickly, subdue them. We will have to fight, regardless, it seems. I see no sense in waiting.
I think
old Bart will look at you, Uba, and say, you and Alveron, and say, "The 3 of us, 2 of them, I think we could do it."
Do it quiet like?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, sounds fine by me.
Bow's gonna come off the shoulder. I'll just kind of let the mage onto someone else's shoulder, I guess, if anyone is free, or
Yeah.
just
Kella,
set him down on a bench or something.
Kella and probably Kella as well will both like be shouldering him now. The three of you kind of begin to stock up. I'm gonna have you guys make stealth checks, and Bart will make one as well.
Oh.
Can't believe we finally made it to Torilus and it's not a happy reunion.
Too much shit going on, man.
Look,
Not enough time
we're
for
not going to be
tears.
that action scene.
Wait, I forgot that I have
You have
advantage on stealth checks.
That's good because it probably will factor.
Yeah.
There we
That's
go.
better. That's
Okay.
better. You didn't see the first one. It's fine.
Let's say bringing down our fucking average there, Mars.
So these two, it just as you slowly weapons out, begin to move upwards. It just seems to be two guards. Old Bart will kind of like gesture at Uba and himself to take one, and he'll point Alveron at another one, knowing that Alveron is particularly good at taking people out from the shadows in one hit. You both get into position and wait as there's like a signal that will go off. I'm gonna have you both make attack rolls at this point in time. Old Bart will make one as well. You can have advantage because you're doing it out of hidden.
Okay, and there's no sort of called shot mechanic or anything with 5e, right?
Is there like coup de grace here?
I will tell you, if somebody hits, these people will probably die. But there is no called shot or anything like that.
Okay.
No.
Oof.
Okay.
It was still decent, but
okay, it's still enough. Old Bart did miss, however, the two of you did hit. So an Old Bart just he hits, but it kind of like hits the plate on this person's armor. Kind of low. But Uba is right there with the dagger to right in the neck of this Duergar. As at the same time, Alveron, you let loose this arrow, which flies into the eye of a unsuspecting Duergar, who crashes in a heap. The rest of the party, you just hear the briefest sounds, like an and a as metal clangs. Old Bart kind of catches the other guy before he makes noise and sets him down. But after a moment later, the two companions, as well as Old Bart, return, unharmed and seemingly successful.
I guess we will. Should we just look over? Should we move the bodies out of the way at all, or so someone doesn't just walk in and see a couple of dead Draugr?
Yeah, maybe we could put them in. Well, I don't know how much effort it would take to move them this far, but if we just chuck them in like Torilus' cell or something. If there's like a bed, just like tuck them in.
Definitely looks similar.
Classic.
Old Bart can probably carry one of these things. You and I can probably carry the other.
If you guys want to, you can.
Uba
definitely
holding
move
the
these guys.
feet from way down below, and Alveron.
It'll take like a minute or so to drag them down there,
fine.
but you could definitely do it if you wanted to.
I think that would be fine. Do we need to roll for that?
No, you could just do it if you're taking the time for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoulder
him up.
Check Alveron,
as they care.
With your incredible passive perception, you do see that the person who you felled was carrying a large key ring with many heavy iron keys on it. Thanks to your expertise in perception.
Gotcha. That'll be the one that we're carrying up, and I'll make sure to just kind of deftly grab that as we're going. And I'll make that known to the party as we get up top that we have the keys. Looks like I think the thing would probably be to release 3 or 4 people downstairs and then have them start releasing everyone else and let them know, hey, the more people you get out, the more of you that can escape because they're not going to catch all of you. And then, it's not our job to free everybody, but we did the right thing and probably made much more of a headache for anyone upstairs.
Yeah, all of your companions seem to nod, and Old Bart says, it'll be smart. It'll at least help us with the distraction as well, with trying to get out of the city.
Okay. Who's the soldier from before? The one that called out that he was a warrior that he
there
did?
There was a couple of dwarves who seem to have been captured. They don't have any weapons on them, but you could easily hand them the Duergar weapons.
Yep. Does anyone have any objection to us doing that?
Be certain to free a Duergar as well. These uplanders might not have sympathy.
Very fair. Sorry, Andrew, didn't you say that there were Draugr, or are they dwarves? You said
It is mixed company down here. There are Duergar. There are a couple. It's not like a lot, but there are a few dwarves, a couple humans, maybe one elf. Historical high elf. Mostly Duergar though.
okay. So then we'll release the warrior Draugr first, I guess, and then hand them the weapons of the fallen ones that we just killed, and just say, loud enough that the voice carries, but not like shouting it out. Everything else, work together, escape together.
Okay. They begin to free some of the companions. Yes.
As they're doing this, Medea will help get Torilus into their armor.
Okay. So you're going to take the time. It does take a minute to put him into his armor. It is enchanted half plate, but you do fit it onto him, putting on his robes as well. He kind of like rolls his shoulders. Thanks.
A man should have his equipment when it comes time to fight. If you are to die, you deserve the dignity of at least being in something to eat.
My spell book, I might be able to get this all out.
We will find it as we can.
I suspect it is out of reach unless we search the Citadel. I think I would be happy to just leave. I have other spell books, though not as extensive.
Perhaps one day we can recover it. Still, we should move, yes.
Right. The prisoners begin to free each other in a sort of jailbreak. They try to find what weapons they can, and if there aren't any weapons to be had, they pick up rocks and all sorts of other things as you guys begin to get up, heading up to the Citadel. As you get up, are you guys... it's not that far to the side entrance, but I want to know... are you guys running still as fast as you can, or is this the point where you're starting to slow down in stealth?
I feel like this is probably a good time to stealth because of Torilus. Unless Sulveran just like picks him up and gives him like a piggyback ride, then maybe we could run.
I mean, I assume if Torilus wants, Medea is also happy to just let like Torilus like hang off his back or their back,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, yeah, we can pick him up and run if we must, but we also have a nice distraction right now. And Sulveran will say, caution.
If you're stealthing, he's not going to slow you down that much since you're moving slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Pass without a trace or just stealthing?
I think we can really only successfully pass without a trace most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if we've got a wizard with a level of exhaustion.
Yeah,
Five.
the goal
5
is
levels.
No, he's got 4.
Fair.
If he had 5, he couldn't move.
Okay.
Fair.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Yeah. So let's do pass without a trace, and yeah. Also, I think as right before we stealth, Uba has had a bunch of rations in their pack for a little bit. I think Uba, I don't know if in D&D mechanics if rations spoil, but if they don't, Uba's gonna give a set of rations to Torilus.
They do, but not within the time frame of the start of the campaign and to now. They're good for like, they're like MREs. They're good for like at least a couple years. Kind of
Okay,
thing.
yeah, it's like what are they like the freeze dried astronaut food?
Yeah,
Just like-
it's just like heavily salted stuff and lots of like hard tack. So like bread that is, it's already stale, but it's still bread.
yeah, it's probably better than what Torilus has been eating. So
It's technically a meal.
yeah, once Uba gives that to Torilus, I think they'll be ready to move out if
Okay.
everyone else is.
He's cognizant not to eat too much, but he does like take several mouthfuls, and it does seem to, as much as the aura of vitality did, seem to reinvigorate him a little bit. He eats and drinks a lot of water from one of your water skins. Why don't I get everybody to do stealth checks? Yes.
Before that, I wanted to ask, should I dump, Medea would have asked the party as they left, should I dump some lay on hands into him, and should we also just give him some of our healing potions?
Unless
I
your
don't think
unless
you
your
can.
lay on hands can cure exhaustion, he is technically at full HP.
Okay.
Sulveran already healed him as much as we could. Can yours heal exhaustion?
No, the only thing that can heal exhaustion is greater restoration.
And I spent that to kill my best friend.
Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't there succor or SUCCOR? Or is that a different?
There's a couple, I think, things besides greater restoration, but it's pretty limited.
Sulveran, did you say
It's
5th
farming
level
it.
spell?
Say one more time.
Did Sulveran save their 5th level spell slot?
Nope, that's what killing Kalash was predicated on.
Okay, I didn't know if you got 1 or 2 at this level. You only get 1?
You saved yourselves about 200 HP from a barbarian with that level 5 spell, so I would consider it a good exchange.
yeah,
Also, peace of mind, right?
Yeah.
that's the most important part.
We prepared so deeply for having like Dawn and all that other stuff for if we ever fought this dragon, and we ended up just being very resource dry in the end.
You guys, oh yeah, everybody else making the stealth check. Narrate properly.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Disadvantage. So let's see it.
So many people.
Oh
Ooh.
my god, a 10 total, I suppose.
Wow.
Wow.
Ooh.
my
Bartwell, terrible too. Oh my god.
Oh,
We are
Is this
not
the
having a
first-
good day, boys.
I think this is going to be the first fail with Pass Without a Trace up.
oh no.
Maybe we can get some net 20s. Let's see what Kella gets. She has advantage, or she should have been having advantage. I think I've been forgetting to give it. Oh, she didn't roll that good either.
Just because I'm curious, I don't think it'll make it worse. I don't know. Can I roll for Kojin? Maybe not.
X has advantage.
I wondered.
You can if you want. I haven't been making. I don't normally make you, but you're welcome to.
I don't see the option to roll specifically stealth, so can I just do like a...
You have to
Chance.
open it up for him by show.
Oh. There we go.
They have a +1.
Oh boy. Yay!
Hey, that's not terrible. Let's do Kella. Ah, yeah. Okay.
Kella actually just like
Silent. It's
Max, Kojin, and Kella are really
It's
carrying
not,
everyone
okay,
right now.
let me do
in our
some
head, our
quick
average
math.
is about a 17.
Yeah, but that's with an one of the. So Kella cancels out one of the net, but not.
What does the nat 1 count like mathematically then for the average?
I will tell you in a second what you're told.
Ooh.
Max is really bringing up the average here.
There we go.
If they're 37.
I like to imagine that Medea is clanking around as noisily as they can, and Kella just like looks at Medea and says, "Shh, we're trying to sneak here."
Oh, hold on. I do have to roll for Torilus at disadvantage.
Oh no.
Oh, lad.
Okay, he didn't roll terrible.
Yeah.
He has a okay dex.
Imagine if he rolled two nat 20s in a row there.
That would be
There we go.
really impressive. How many characters are there? 2,
Many.
7, 8, 11. Okay. Okay. Now I have to make rules.
I don't think we're going to be able to sneak past the dragon.
The dragon just drops from the ceiling and like curb
Um,
stomps all of us.
Well, I just rolled this.
No.
No,
So-
re-roll it.
Oh,
You
I'm
sure it
it's
didn't
fine.
have disadvantage?
I'm positive it didn't have disadvantage.
The fucking shadow dragon somehow doesn't have disadvantage on ice.
You know-
So it's not so bad that you've alerted the Duergar, thankfully, thanks to Kella's nat 20. It's not that bad. You do get the sense that at least Lothkar's main forces lost that battle outside. Not like it was a complete rout. I did roll for it. It was pretty close, but wounded Duergar are kind of beginning to move back into the Citadel to kind of check to see if there are any, saboteurs or other people who snuck in while the fighting was going on. You're not 100% sure what happened to Lothgar, but it's kind of in the back of your mind at this point. You're able to sneak out and you begin to move into the city and are, moving along, hoping that like that is still enough of a distraction. But Medea and Old Bart are both, making a fair amount of noise. Medea, your armor is clanking even with the pass without a trace up. Old Bart is kind of helping to shoulder Torilus as well, seeing that Calandra is kind of small and not as capable with that. And you guys are moving along. Max and Calandra are basically invisible. Even you guys lose track of them most of the time as they're kind of sticking together in the shadows kind of thing. And you don't really have to worry about anybody noticing them. But at some point in your flight, you do start to hear up above. You kind of glance up looking. I'm going to have everybody roll me. Anybody who wants to can roll me a perception check. I will not roll for all the NPCs because they're kind of focused on other things. But I will roll for Old Park.
Jesus.
Oops, sorry, I doubled.
Oof.
Glad I'm getting those nat ones out of the way
What's
outside of
happening?
the battle.
And I don't know if he is invisible, but I will also mention that I have the Justicar's helm still on.
I will give you advantage for that. For having that.
Okay.
He's not technically invisible, but I think it. Okay, so slightly. Okay. Uba and Alveron. Somewhere in the depths of the blackness, you do see a movement, darker shadow within. You see the outlines of the whooshing of the wings. It kind of had been circling at first, just kind of circling around. You think just like looking for things, but at some point, it seems to kind of turn and start to. It's the whooshing stops notably, but you think it is swooping to slowly dive down on your location. You do have a little bit of time to react. You guys are kind of so you guys are kind of moving through city streets. There is lots of buildings on either side. You are a bit away from the walls still at this point, so you could try to dash for it. Obviously, Torilus would be slowing you down. Even on Medea, I think Torilus is heavy enough Medea to slow you down still with his armor and everything. You do have a little bit of time to react as Alveron and Uba, you notice the dragon has honed in on your location.
Medea is going to, in the most skittish way possible, set down Torilus and say, I don't think we can run from this.
I think Uba has been thinking very hard about the idea of if this dragon kills you, you can't be brought back, and says, I would prefer the hiding option myself, personally.
Whatever it is, we must decide quickly.
Hide now, I'll draw the attention, attack from the shadows.
Agreed.
Move.
Let's try.
Sulveran flips up his cloak of Elvenkind. This is a very
Medea's
odd thing for him to do.
Medea's going to draw the sunlight javelin and create light, and not to bellow out, but like stick their chest out. They're not trying to hide at all.
Okay. I'm going to drop this on the map then.
Oh, geez.
Oh, here we come.
And they're going to
Somebody call
say a
Jack.
prayer. They're not going to say a prayer to any specific god, but rather to say a prayer to the idea of, like, they're essentially praying to whatever spirits of mortals have fought the demons in this world, whatever people have fought these dragons, the armies that died. If they can give them any strength, if they can lend them any aid in this accursed city so that they can escape.
Okay. You can make a religion check with wisdom.
Okay. So that'll just be the same check, but -1, so +10. 14. Just not rolling hot tonight.
I'm gonna get a drink before we get into combat.
We're probably
Yeah,
going to take a break before we get into combat.
Oh, well, in that case, I can wait for you.
But I'm going to move this on. Kojin is probably out. Yeah.
Yes, as we so helpfully discovered halfway through the dungeon. I say we, I mean me.
Andrew, how long does the sunlight spear emanate light for when it hits something? Just around?
Just around, yeah. It will illuminate and then fade.
Okay. And I'm assuming mundane light doesn't really do anything?
It might if there's enough of it. If you had enough torchlight or something to bring the creature out of being in dim light, it would have an effect.
Then Medea additionally will have a light cantrip casted on himself.
Okay. That will not be enough. Unless it is right on top of you. If you're
Yeah.
if you're fighting with it, that'll be fine. But yeah, otherwise it will not be quite.
Yeah.
The radius on that is like 20, right?
Yeah. I can double check. I just made the nastiest neck pop.
Nice.
Yeah, 2020.
Okay. Right. You guys can change up your positionings. Like I just kind of put you down on this map. There are the buildings around you that you can kind of get cover behind. It's about to swoop down. This is kind of where you're at the round or two before. So if you want to spread out, want to move it all, you can do that. We are going to take a quick 15-minute break here, so that while you do your planning, and hopefully maybe Jack can be on as well at the time. So see you all in just a little bit.
Good.
Right, welcome back, everybody. Jack rejoined us as we're about to go into this fight. So, they're currently discussing some plans. I will let them continue doing so.
A vial of perfume. I don't know how flammable that is.
It'll help a little bit.
I will say my most flaming moments have had quite a bit of perfume, so.
To leave.
Some of the theater people in the audience got that, but.
All right. So, yeah, to recap, Sulveran looks at Medea, says, you've agreed to draw its fire equally well. I could draw its attention while the rest of you flee.
No, I can handle its flame better than anyone else here.
Then we stand. And he is going to step back over here. You said it's coming from the north?
Right.
Yeah.
Alright. So I think he is prepping. He is going to basically time it, since he knows that there's a good chance he'll lose eyesight on folks, to pop his Twilight Sanctuary on people while they're still all in sight right before the dragon lands.
I guess we have a conflagration going on the cart. Should we move the cart to be more central, like out here, or should we?
Yeah, if you want to do that, Alveron will move to help you. Like, I'm just fine with it being where it's at, but if Alveron goes to do that, Sulveran will just help without asking, because there's no time for that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of our move. As we're moving it, I'll drop the oil in, and then we'll light it and move, and have it be kind of more in the center. Or let's not light it just yet, right? We have the ability to start it remotely.
Yes, but it will then take some time to catch on fire.
Okay, then let's just do it now, so we have the light source right now, I guess, then, right?
I mean, we're not getting a stealth advantage on a shadow dragon in the shadows.
True.
Okay.
All right, bet. Flame on.
Is this where people want to be when combat? I'm going to move Kala and Old Bart once I figure out where everybody else wants to be. Is this where everybody else is going to be when the fight is starting?
Medea definitely wouldn't want to be that clustered.
Yeah, if it's coming from the north, you said?
Yeah.
The screen? Yeah. I think Will probably would be slightly further back.
Based on description of Medea, you have to be here. Otherwise, you're going to be standing in what is a flaming cart.
Do you have...
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
So, Sylvan, do you have the ability to give everyone dark vision?
Not everyone, and even at this point right now I can with the spell slot, and if Will asks for it, Sulveran will do so. Oh no, it's re-up, so yes. Yeah, actually, wait a second. There's I'm thinking of two different things, but yes, that was the plan and I forgot it. Yes, go ahead, thank you. Take dark vision, y'all.
Yeah, dark vision.
I said Twilight.
Andrew, would there be any benefit to me being like in this corner right here? I don't like if I was getting some sort of height on there. Like I wouldn't be visible so much because of the slant of the roof, but I'm just wondering if there's any actual reason to do it mechanically.
I mean, you will be at height, so if it might have effect of like the cone and flame and stuff like that, where the dragon directs its breath weapon. You could also like, maybe jump on it if you wanted to and stuff like that. But
yeah, okay. Just making sure I wasn't wasting an action or something. Yeah, I'm gonna do that then. Then I will clamber up and try to like nestle myself into that groove right there, just with the bow strung and ready to go.
Okay, you will just barely get there in time after doing the after moving the cart and stuff. Okay. I think everybody's where they want to be then.
You got dark vision, and you've got
Yeah.
dark vision.
And
You've
we're
got
all
Fear
getting
first sight.
Sullivan's fancy dark vision. And how long has it been since the last fight?
You have not short rested. It has been at this point in time getting on 45 minutes, but you've been like moving and going. Maybe closer to an hour now. I'll quickly adjust everybody's dark vision.
Actually, Andrew, how much damage does the burning cart do around?
Yeah, it depends on the context. If it's standing on it, not a lot. The cart, I want to be very clear, the cart is barely on fire by the time the combat is starting. It is really the oil that's on fire, and the cart is starting to catch a little bit. You guys have like 12 seconds to prepare this. In 12 seconds, the cart's not on fire yet. But by the end of the combat, it will probably be fully in flames. So if the dragon were standing on it at that point, it would be taking a minor amount of fire damage.
Okay.
And then we win the combat, and the city burns down due to the cart we didn't put out.
Stone City.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Exactly.
largely stone city.
Yes, 100%. It spreads to the gassy sewers.
Well, then I think you're
That's
talking
what will
about
get you, the
a-
gassy
I didn't know we were fighting in Philadelphia.
Jack will be thankful that they missed the pre-show this time.
Charlie said
Jack,
that
it was
I
all
watched
cheese
that
and
I
nipples.
should
It was
skip-
great.
Yeah, Charlie said that if I watched it, I should skip the first little bit.
I had to step away for a second, and when I came back, all hell was broken loose.
Andrew completely forgot to mute the party of intrepid assholes that he corrals every single week of his life, and
Okay.
it's just bad
And you
form.
found yourself without parental supervision for 2 minutes, and you decided to go crazy.
Well, I mean, I am their daddy after all. So we have
Yes.
established multiple times now.
Made an effort to get up for this fight, just so everyone knows that I'm being bullied.
Okay.
Grab a Red Bull and call me in the morning.
I thought you were gonna say "call me daddy," and I was like, "What?"
Call me by your name, obviously. I've never seen that movie.
I don't look
Well, it's got
good
a
enough naked to say
real
call me
life
by your name.
cannibal, Arnie Hammer. So.
Yeah.
Good.
Real life
Good.
cannibal on him. Okay.
Lil Nas X. Never mind. We'll continue on with this. It can only get so gay before the night goes over.
All right. Let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Fuck me.
Bart.
I haven't even set up this thing yet.
Well, I do love rolling things.
Goddamn son of a bitch, motherfucker, straight to hell, cocksucker.
What is going
Yeah,
on?
right.
Who's the advantage on, by the way? Uva still?
It will.
Still will, yeah. It hasn't moved. Unless somebody...
It's gonna be Will unless somebody else brings it up before the moment we're rolling.
Do you want me to swap initiative with you, Alveron? Or does anybody want to swap initiative?
I'll let you know.
Honestly, Medea, I like you going after me for a setup strategy thing, but
Do you mean going after me so that you can get sneak attack?
no, I mean you going after me. I think I might be able to set you up for something.
Or
Okay,
you can
then
go
I'll let you go
before
for
the
it.
dragon.
Yeah, I'll go for it.
No one is going to go before the dragon. Did you all see what the dragon rolled?
I do see what the dragon rolled. Did you see what I rolled?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I did
You're
not
higher
see
than
it.
Uba this time.
Yeah. I watched that sucker hang on a 1 and flip over to the 19 in the last second. So yeah, it's your call, Medea. You can go after, or you can take before the dragon.
I'm gonna go before you so that I can get up close. Because then it's less likely everybody gets hit with the breath.
So you're taking Sulveran's initiative, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I was wondering why this is a tiny baby dragon.
We're
It's a
all
little
were.
baby.
Yeah. So you can steal that initiative from Sulveran.
It's
happily.
flying now, right? I
Cleric
assume
will
it's
go
not
first.
prowling along the
It
ground with
is
us.
flying, swooping down. Yeah, it's in a dive, actually. Okay. Oh, I guess I will look.
Oh, sorry. Am I in charge of
I could do it if you don't want to.
Kella? I'll be in charge of.
Kella is not going to do anything. I just have them on the map because, I want them to be on the map for this one.
Yeah, because you're a jerk. That
Okay,
likes
so-
killing children.
So I'm going exactly first, and I'm going first instead of last, and Sulveran is going last instead of first.
Okay.
Oh, and I also rolled a 15 on my advantage.
So Medea has a 22, and Sulveran has an 8.
Yes.
And you said that there was 12 seconds of prep time before this fight, right?
There, basically.
Okay, so did I have time to hit 2 actions or no?
Well, you spent one of them on the cart, so you can have
Wow,
another action doing something else.
I can't hear you.
You spent one action moving the cart with Alveron. You
Got
can
it.
have
That's
one
what
more doing something else, yeah.
Okay, that was just making sure because I wasn't sure if that dark vision would have taken, given that.
Yeah.
Also, my internet is having its moments, so if I just disappear,
No worries.
that's why.
Just...
Andrew,
So Old Bard still
Will's
has the Crimson Bride up.
and Will's initiative should be 15. This is only relevant in that it makes me beat other party members. It might matter.
Let me just double check. I mean, Kella has haste again, so does the party think that they should cast it on somebody before the fight starts? Or should they save it for a 3rd level spell slot?
How many more smites do you have left, Medea?
I've got 2 in me.
I think
Probably
Kella would have given Medea haste again. Let me get Kella's sheet up too.
I'll click that.
That'll make a significant difference because then I can just hit the dragon 4 times in the first round.
Yeah, like Medea's standing in the middle of a street waiting on this dragon.
sometimes you roll 4 crits in a row.
Yeah,
that is mathematically possible.
Sometimes you also roll 4 ones in a row. It's also mathematically possible. Okay, fight is beginning.
Sure.
The dragon swooping down as Medea is ready. You feel the sudden rush of haste. What do you do?
Medea's going to open up with a sunlight javelin at the start, just right at the beginning. Does a 19 hit?
The 19 does hit. Just barely.
Okay. Okay, roll the 48. Makes the DC 15 con save, but the benefit is that... Yeah. So the benefit is that it will be emitting bright sunlight. Stripping it of its natural armor, right?
Give him.
Andrew gave you sunlight javelins, forgetting that later that they would be very good against a boss.
No, I knew that. I'm just still. Okay. It is illuminated as you and the javelin sticks into the kind of upper neck breast region of the creature as it's in a dive. Go ahead and make your next
Okay.
attack.
Medea is going to simply dash forward and hit it with their normal spirit. Does this thing count as a fiend?
2 things. It's flying. There's a flaming card in your way.
How far up is it?
Far enough that you could not hit it with your pole arm. It's probably 40-ish feet up at this point in time. It was doing a swoop down like this at you, like towards the ground.
Can I-
it's easy
How
to
many
move
javelins?
down.
Wait, can I use the hasted action to throw one javelin, even though I can normally only throw two?
But yeah, you could use your haste action to throw another javelin.
Okay, so I can throw two more javelins this round now.
Okay.
And I'm just going to throw two lightning javelins at it.
Okay.
Only the first one matters, so
Only the 14.
yeah, and it takes half of that, so that's 12.
Oh, I don't need to make the dex save, do I? That's just if it's behind.
Yeah, so sorry, it's just going to take 19, and then... oh, I forgot, I'm also going to...
Moving my
I don't
window,
know.
sorry.
I don't know why that happened.
Because I
That was
accidentally
me.
hit that deck save while I was
You
moving the
both did
window.
it on.
We both did it too. That was funny.
Only one of you
Okay.
wasted a critical.
So, yes, so that's going to be 25 plus the both lightning javelins. And I'm going to smite with the lightning javelin, and is this thing?
It is technically still a dragon, more so than it is a fiend.
Okay, so that'll be 3d8 for the sunlight javelin that does hit it for an extra 19 points of damage. And Medea is just trying to act this thing's attention as much as is possible.
Dude,
Hurling
you're
one
on
in
19 3 times in a row for damage.
and then throwing two more out with as much speed as they can, hoping that it catches this thing's attention.
Okay.
That's great.
You have hit it with enough radiant damage. It is lit up in this moment, and what normally would be resisting all of your normal blows, so the normal piercing and stuff, that is negated. However, you note that whatever is cloaking this creature, the shadows cling to it even as it is in shadow. It's not in dim light, so the armor part of it isn't coming into effect, but it is resisting all of your radiant damage at this point in time.
Does the daylight have an effect on it as well, obviously, from the spear?
The daylight is removing, so normally your piercing damage would be resisted. The daylight
Okay.
is removing that effect. The radiant damage resistant is separate and is still going on.
Okay.
And I will say, it is the daylight on it is somewhat muted. It's still having the normal effect because it is daylight, but it is somewhat muted. You have a strong suspicion that if it were a normal light, it would not be having this effect.
Yeah, it would do nothing.
That's going to be Medea's turn as they just launch these 3 javelins at the creature, which does take a notable amount of damage thanks to the sunlight spell that normally would not have done nearly as much. Uba, it is then going to be your turn.
Okay, so it's not currently resisting piercing damage right now, is what you
Not
said.
at the moment, yeah, because of the daylight.
Okay. So I think Uba's not even gonna try and get close. And is gonna try the the conjure barrage would just hit it, so I think they're gonna try that so they can stay far back. Yeah.
Brush. That's failed. Damage.
Not anything crazy, but not near the breath weapon.
High quality 3rd level spell barrage.
I think that's all I can do.
Would you
I
like
don't wanna
to
miss.
Hunter's Mark?
Oh, yeah, that would make sense. I always forget. There you go.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. You can't Hunter's Mark and cast Conjure Barrage.
Oh, right, because
they're
it's
both
2 leveled spells. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just leave it then.
Okay. An arrow splits, shattering kind of damaging the creature, but only minorly, as the arrow split into many.
Will Watch is wondering if shooting a normal arrow would have been.
Does Kojin want to do anything?
Yeah, I don't think biting that dragon would be a good idea, so I'm gonna pass.
The shadow dragon. Yes, sorry.
Is it verticality? Is there any kind of marker for Foundry to tell else how vertical something is, like how high up in the air it is?
There might be a module, but not at the moment. You don't have to worry because it's about to land on you.
Okay.
Specifically on you.
I fear we are still too clustered.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
This was the stretch body.
It is thoroughly annoyed at this daylight that you've just thrown on it. It does not like that, and it is going to punish you for doing so.
As it enters, it takes a reaction attack.
Okay, go ahead and make that.
Okay. 21. As Medea just slams the spear into this thing, knowing this is an incredibly small thing, but almost like there's a level of defiance to hit it when it feels unnecessary, you know?
You
whatever.
stab into it as it's kind of coming down onto you, dealing a pretty decent chunk of damage, especially as it's lit up. It roars in your face as it goes to bite you. Doesn't have advantage because it's in the light.
Mm-hmm. And it has to beat a 24.
Yes. Which it does.
Does Will Cutting Words or?
I have no bardic inspiration left.
Okay. So what happens if I resist something that does 1 damage?
It's rounded to. You can't do less than 1 on a from a source. I think I will say.
Okay. So 13 damage.
Okay. And then hitting you with both of its massive claws.
Right. Hit. And
Second one missing. It's off of your arm.
All right. Diaz takes the first 2 hits and pretty well on their face. They seem more stoic than usual. Their usual picture of fear in a fight that's going on just isn't there. Yeah.
I'm going to be Old Bart's turn. Will. I think he is going to move in. I'm going to try to slide around the dragon. To break everybody up a little bit more. Taking. Use the random castigation, so. Yeah, and Blood Curse of the Ancients, that makes sense right now. He's going to attack twice with his longsword. Hitting both times. D6s. Is holding back, protecting Kella. Torilus. Kella's turn.
I think from 2 different points on the map, in the battle, these motes of arcane energy blossom, and from the left they're shadowy, and from the right they're little tiny pieces of metallic like daggers. And both Will and Kella are just going to cast high level magic style. So Kella's going to cast it at 2nd level. So I'll take that spell slot, and Will's going to cast it at 5th level because I don't have a 5th level spell. It's not probably not the best use of my 5th level spell slot, but
I mean, it's some guaranteed hits and damage, so that's...
yeah. So Kella's is 4d4 plus 4, and Will's is 3 7d4. So 48 points of damage across both turns.
Nice.
Yeah, so they're not even close to each other, but they're both casting the same spell, and there's a moment where like they kind of notice that these missiles are like swirling together into just a barrage of 11 tiny darts of force. And then I think Kella will head over to be near Kella. And will probably backs up a little bit, but will so not too far. I could fly. How tall are these huts?
They're like I will say for purposes of this map, they're all the roofs are about 30 feet up or so. They're all none of them are one-story buildings. So
I will instead fly onto that house, but it says that it's colliding with the wall, so it.
We will know that you are on the house.
Yeah,
it's just because of the way the lighting set up.
Yeah, that's fine. And that's it. I don't think I have another bonus action thing that isn't Bardic Inspiration. Alright, I'm done. That's how we get the game speed up. I just do Keller and Will's turns at the same time.
Okay. It is then going to be Alveron's turn.
Alveron is okay, so you can't hold your action, but you can declare what triggers your action. Am I remembering that correctly? So I can't like hold my action until the end of the round, right?
So you can hold an action. You cannot hold a turn. When you hold an action, you have to say, when this happens, basically when you hold your action turns into a reaction.
Does it spend your reaction?
Yes.
Okay. Understood. All right. In that case, Alveron doesn't really know what's happening, but he kind of feels this pressure in his ears like the first time he was truly submerged in the ocean. And his left hand is starting to, if you looked at it, you wouldn't know if it was mist gathering on the open sea or waves beginning to crash on the shore, but that swell is starting to build, and Guiding Bolt is forming in his left hand. And it's going to go off after Sulveran's turn ends.
Got it.
And he's just kind of grappling with this and looking at it as he's sitting on the roof. And all he knows is that this energy is building up inside of him. And he's going to find the outlet, but in the moment, all he can do is he's transfixed looking at it, and that's why it isn't going off on his turn.
Got it.
Okay. It is then going to be what's his turn? Will peek out, using all of his movement to do so. Shoot, I forgot the spells I added. Here it is. Okay. Again, would he use Hold Monster right away, knowing it's probably going to resist? What does Eye Bite do? I've never actually seen the spell.
Bites their eye.
It lets you. It essentially affects you, and it lets you do something to a target on each turn, but once something succeeded, it can't be targeted again, and it can either make you fall unconscious. It's all wisdom saves. It makes you fall unconscious, makes you frightened, or makes you sickened.
I guess he will open with hold person, just to start getting rid of legendary
Hold
resistances.
person's Medea,
or hold monster.
the truest betrayal.
So it needs to make a wisdom save. It fails, so it will use a legendary resistance to resist that, so it is not held. However, it does burn through that. So you all see Torilus pull out the scroll, begin in his slightly weakened voice casting. And as he does so, his voice does kind of grow somewhat in power and projects outwards to try to like bind the dragon with these sort of invisible chains. But the dragon just and breaks through that. Legendary resistance to do so. That's going to be his turn. It's going to be Sulveran's turn. Oh, you're muted.
Sulveran's alpenstock almost immediately shudders into life next to the dragon at 3rd level. And let's see, did that automatically off? Yeah, for a 25. So 12 force damage. I think it rolled it automatically. Let me see if it rolled it. 1d8 plus 5. So it should be 2d8 because I casted it. Upcasted, so. Not that matters really. And then he follows up by blowing the note on his ocarina, tolling the dead, drawing his finger from the sky to bring a spectral bird to roost at the place between this dragon's wings.
That one it does succeed.
Okay.
Dang it.
All right. Did you want to move?
Yeah, let me get somewhat out of blast range here. Maybe out of blast range.
Okay. Going to be this turn. Yeah.
Guiding bolt goes off before Medea's turn.
Right.
So Alveron, after Sulveran has their movement, just that kind of that left hand glowing, and the arm, how do I want to say this? Alveron's arm begins to glow with it, and Alveron hears this, other people don't. There's that moment of, let it go, child. And almost kind of against his own volition, he turns around on the rampart there of the roof and releases the guiding bolt. Medea is the only person kind of in the wake of it. Medea, you remember when you were on the ship, and when there was when the ship bent down into a wave and that cold salt spray came over the ship and hit the front of you and filled you with that sea salt chill.
Mm-hmm.
You feel that as the bolt goes flying past you.
All right.
Since I was hidden, do I have advantage on the attack roll?
Yes, because it is intact.
Okay. Yes, I do want to consume the spell slot, because I have those now. Now I get to deal with that.
That does hit.
Hey. Awesome. I know I don't get sneak attack on it. But it is radiant damage. And let me see.
Which it does resist.
Okay.
With it.
And it's able to resist radiant? Holy shit.
Yeah, at the moment, that's
But-
the only thing it's resisting. Otherwise, it would be resisting a lot more.
Got it.
The,
And then
attack
just
advantage.
yes, exactly. So
So in that case, right after that happens, right after Alveron does that, it will use the legendary action to whip out its tail.
oh, I can use my bonus action to hide after that, correct, and scramble across the rooftop.
No, you used a reaction. You don't get her whole turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
like a
gotcha.
threat.
Okay,
That's
no
how
worries.
I
Yeah.
really think.
So it's going to use its legendary action to make a swiping tail attack at Medea.
All right.
Missing. Rolling poor there. It's then your turn.
Medea is going to take the opportunity given by Alveron and is going to try and take the javelin in melee and jam this thing into.
Right. That misses as you kind of you're turned aside by the thick scales that cover its body.
I mean, is it expended if I use it in a melee attack? I'm curious. Or does it have to be a con save for half, anyways?
Well, you miss, so it doesn't have to make the con save.
Okay.
Basically, what happens is it does go off because you've made the attempt. It has made contact, so the light still is happening, but the javelin does, as the attack, it doesn't pierce through, but still does make contact.
Does the light still emanate from the area?
Yes, so it's kind of on you
Okay.
at the moment.
Does that still affect the dragon?
It does seem to at the moment.
Okay. Then Medea is going to just make 3 attacks with their spear, gripping it from their side, and attempt to stab at it again. It's good enough just to waylay this thing in sunlight, I suppose. Miss, I assume.
Yep. That one
Hit.
hits.
Just one.
Hits.
Alright.
Right. The Shadow Dragon is bloodied at this point in time, as you have now, between all of your blows, all Bart's blows, all these magic missiles that were thrown at it, has taken quite a bit of damage. It's got wounds all along its body and everything. It's then going to be Uba's turn.
Okay, cool. So, quick question. With the Cube of Force, does the dragon's breath count as a spell effect?
No, it would not count as a spell effect. There
Okay.
are settings that it would protect you against, but not that one specifically.
Okay, so that's the case. Uba's gonna cast Hunter's Mark first. And is going to, I think, move away from the dragon first. Can move to here. Oh, sorry. It was gonna move here. Kojin's gonna move next to Uba. And then Uba's gonna attack twice with the longbow. Yeesh. Not good, not good.
Striking true. Oh, that's a 10. Sorry, I misread that. Both of them miss. I thought it landed on a 14 for some reason.
Darn. Well, I guess Uba's not gonna be helpful this turn. Kojin can't do anything either, so that'll be the end.
2 arrows sing out, but both of them just ting ting off of the scales of the creature. At the end of Uba's turn, it's going to use its remaining 2 legendary actions on a wing attack.
That's not good.
So I need not Alveron, just Medea and Old Bart to make dex saves.
Okay.
Old Bart saves.
Come on, Medea.
Oh,
fails.
Son of a bitch.
Ah, damn. Start by 1.
So you take 9 points of damage and you are knocked prone.
Okay.
The dragon is go. Oh, before it goes, so this will happen on initial count 20. The dragon roars as the wings are beating, and there's this kind of shift in the air slightly. Around several of you, the shadows begin to coalesce into humanoid forms. Pop. Art. Here,
I do not like that.
looking over at. No, Will's on the roof. It will actually be looking at Uba. Then it's gonna go.
Okay.
Isn't Alveron also on the roof?
Alveron is also on the roof, but you are also near to there, so it's putting it in that corner.
Got it. That makes sense.
I think I can't really get a good breath weapon.
Oh, we're so sorry.
Is it pissed off enough it'd do it anyways?
I'm considering it, but you are knocked prone, so it can do a lot to you, potentially. I think if it could get more than one of you, it would, but it just can't. So it is instead going to use its 3 attacks on Medea. So you are prone, so it will have advantage.
Mm-hmm.
This is the bite. The 2 claws.
Suppose. Okay. The first 2 hits. I have the necrotic damage on that first one. Thought this thing would do more necrotic damage, honestly. 30.
It hasn't used its breath weapon yet.
35 minus 2. So 37. So 35 damage. So Medea is at death's door.
Should be 37.
I have the 4 on the necrotic because I have resistance to necrotic.
Sure. That should still be 37, unless I'm mathing wrong. 20 plus 15 is 35 plus 2
you're right.
is
You're right.
37.
Okay, yeah, I have exactly 5 HP left. Yeah.
Holy shit snacks, Batman.
And it's kind of looking like it's thinking about maybe eating Medea or something of that nature.
As soon as it's my turn, I'm just pumping a lay on hands into myself.
That's its turn. It's then going to be Old Bart's turn. Who I have to do. Old Bart is going to take a swing at this creature that's just appeared next to him, but also still attack the dragon once.
Did the shadows get to go this turn or next round?
They will go next round. They appeared.
Okay.
They're a later action thing. They have appeared on initiative count 20. They will go on initiative count 20.
Okay.
He does still hit the shadow. Not quite killing it though. But it is immediately bloodied. However, his second strike off of the dragon, not quite hitting the scales. Max is still going, protecting Kella. Kella and Will.
I don't think they're doing the same thing this time. I think Kella probably sees these shadows pop up and will use another second level magic missile to start trying to thin them out. Because that's probably a problem. So, do these happen one at a time? Or do they happen all at...
The magic missiles?
Yeah.
They kind of appear all at once and then are directed at the same time, typically.
Well, then I'll just do all four at the one behind Medea.
All right. That one is also bloodied, but not immediately killed.
Hmm.
And then I think Kella probably grabs Kella and pulls her even further.
Okay.
Hang on. Yeah, like back into this corner. Well, I have to... I couldn't select Kella because I didn't have Will selected correctly. So, yeah, just to be fully out of it, because she's also out of spells and concentrating on it.
Okay.
Will... Oh no, now I can't select Will. I got it. Will looks at the dragon and all of these little things. And just begins to weave magic around herself. And she hurls the same anchor she always hurls, but this time it's taking her much more strength because this is a giant thing and it has a bigger anchor, and just latches it to the side of this thing as I cast Willow's Psychic Anchor.
Okay.
It's an intelligence save, but I will spell.
It's hitting all of them, I think, right?
No, it's a
just
single
the dragon.
target. Just the dragon.
Oh, I'm thinking of another spell.
Well, D6 is poorly. Yeah,
It
so it's an
will.
intelligence.
That makes it incapacitated, right?
Yeah, until the start of my next turn.
It's gonna use a legendary resistance to break free of that. It does not want to be incapacitated.
No! It used another legendary resistance. It takes half, so 11.
The anchor tries to drag it down. It just starts to be pulled down.
Fly across to this rooftop. The opposite rooftop. Okay. I'm probably further on the roof than that, but I can't do it.
That's fine.
Yeah, same.
I guess let me. These particular ones are hindering more than helping, I think. Okay, you should be able to move a little bit more. Both of you can move a little bit more onto the roof. If you would like to. Okay, so that's going to be Will's turn. Cast a spell of the dragon, which breaks free of. Although it looks slightly weary from having to resist all of these spells now. It is then Alveron's turn.
Okay, so the
I will presume
shadowy...
you actually are here.
Yeah, that's actually pretty perfect. That shadowy creature, we don't have them in the thing right now. So that shadow creature is below me. Do I have a good view of it from here?
You have a great view of it. It's like directly below you. It's this like humanoid, like thick shadow. It's just like inky blackness. It's similar to the shadow demons, but clearly smaller and now not as powerful. And you don't think it's actually a demon, although you could roll a religion check to know more about it.
And that wouldn't take up an action, right? That would just be, do I know what's going on?
Yep.
Okay, I'll make the check. I don't have high hopes, but
You crit.
what the fuck?
You are confident for some reason that these are souls which have been consumed by the shadow dragon. That it is now summoning to aid it.
Okay.
And you strongly
It was
suspect
India's
that
future.
if you were destroyed by its flames, if a weak person was destroyed by its flames, I will say, they would turn into one of these.
Okay, do I have any idea, like, the relative strength of these creatures? Are they,
They're not terribly strong, but they can be a nuisance. Like, you've seen, both of the ones that have been hit so far have only been hit once, and they're already, like, way bloodied, almost dead. They're not strong, but they're just, like, taking up the field, and they can, if they do hit, they can hurt. You sense that innately.
Okay, got it. In that case, I am going to use my bonus action to lay down Hex on the Shadow Dragon.
Okay.
And then, so let me spend that. It will not consume the spell slot because it's one of my innate abilities. Sorry, it rolled, but we'll take that if. And then, not to metagame, but using other people's knowledge here in the party, what ability should I go with for the disadvantage imposed thereby? I'm gonna crowdsource this one just because it's not saves, but it is ability checks.
Usually
Yeah.
the only one that really comes up in combat is strength, I will say, if people are grappling.
Yeah.
It's not very often that another one comes up. You could do wisdom, and that would like make it harder for it to see you guys if you tried to run away or something like
Yeah.
that. But
Wait, I just realized something that would completely have changed the fight that we fucked up on. Haste would have given me advantage on that dex save.
you can roll. It still would have hit both of those attacks, but you can roll again to see if you would be not prone.
Yeah. Okay, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to make sure because that, yeah.
No,
Yeah, it
good
hurt.
looking at because I forgot about that as well.
Yeah.
Okay. If we're Medea, are you good?
I've got 5 HP. Medea's
Medea's good.
I didn't mean in the HP sense because I know that. I meant more like the rectifying and not retconning, but
Yeah.
Fixing the error. Yeah.
fixing that. I just wanted to make sure. Jack, with Hex, anything to add on, like what to give disadvantage on? Any particular thoughts? You're kind of the tactician.
No.
Got it.
It's very good if they are doing counter spells, but this thing doesn't have that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
strength,
Alright.
just in case it does a grapple, is a good one.
Alright,
Alright.
yeah, then we'll go with strength. We'll go with that. So that'll be my bonus action, and then I will use I will take my shot with my bow. Yeah, and I will take that shot.
Do you get 2 attacks these days, or?
If I can spend the reaction
Your
to
bonus
get 2
action.
shots.
Okay.
Bonus action. So I already spent the bonus action on the shot. But I will, and I'm not technically hidden for this attack, right? Because I was in the open last time.
Correct.
Yeah.
But if you're attacking the dragon,
There's got allies all around, so you've got
you'll still
sneaks.
get sneak attack, but you won't get
I do a
advantage.
sneak attack.
Yeah.
All right.
Sean does not like making plain rolls.
Absolutely not. Ooh, son of a bitch!
All these arrows are just tinging off of the dragon, not landing on their mark, unable to pierce through the scales.
See if Torilus has anything big.
Probably eye bite.
Checking. Yeah, I suppose he will cast Eye Bite just to see if he can get the last legendary resistance down. So he's gonna do probably a sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Actually knocks it asleep,
I don't see why you would do something else.
Uba goes and pickpockets it, waking it up.
Yeah, a sleep is the one that gives us the break from it because it doesn't save again.
Yeah, that's why. Because thickened it will eventually get out of it. Sleep. Yeah, perhaps flee or something like that.
Check. Save DC is 17 for it. Failed. Okay.
Failed. It will use its legendary resistance. The third one. No! As it shrugs the magic off again, but is visibly like drained in doing so, having resisted all these powerful spells on it. It's not really that good on its saves at the moment. That's going to be Torilus' turn. So I can keep doing that.
No. Once it saves once.
But he can target other creatures, but not it.
Yeah.
So, well, it's not going to matter that much for the shadows. But Sulveran, it is then your turn.
So the first thing that happens is Sulveran's bonus action spiritual weapon swings around behind the dragon on the opposite side of it from mid-dead. Yeah, misses again. And then Sulveran, I think... Now, he's going to remain where he's at, I think, but even before you changed the shadows, I had eyesight on Medea, which was where I placed myself on purpose. He is watching Medea on the ground, and his hand is like on his alpenstock. It moves from the area where he usually holds it close to the head, where he can bring it out from his belt, forward to where he's holding on to the crow's kind of like beak shape that is sharpened. And he just is steadily squeezing. And when he reaches up and traces his fingertips over the crow that has been mostly washed away by tears, he's learned something a little bit watching Bart. And so he smears just a trace of blood as he casts life transference on Medea. And so you take, that was a nice one.
That's a lot, yeah.
You double.
That's pretty
I
good.
take 29 damage and you heal by twice that.
58, yeah?
Good.
Yeah.
Lightning
damn.
is a good spell if you're willing to take a lot of
You're willing to
damage.
take the damage, yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
And so as he does that, he calls out to Medea, only one today?
Medea is almost instantly brought back to like near. It's like,
Yeah. That's a good roll, too. There's a
Yeah, they're
6,
beautiful.
7, and 2 8s.
That was
Man.
awesome.
Rolls D8 better than any person.
At the end of Sulveran's turn, seeing... sorry, did you want to move or do anything else?
I was gonna move, but nah, Medea's fine. Medea can draw another hit.
Okay. At the end of Medea's turn, the dragon's going to use 2 legendary actions, seeing Medea back up to full. It's going to use a wing attack. Sorry.
Besides, if I can see it, it can see me. So
The shadows have to make the save as well, yeah?
Yes. The dragon doesn't care, but yeah, that is true.
the advantage to being knocked prone is you can't be knocked prone.
Oh, hey, I actually made that save. Let's go.
Nice.
Old bard as well, right?
Yes.
I know nat 20s don't do anything on a save, but I feel like it's nice.
Sometimes they do.
Yeah. Doesn't nat 20 on this do anything, Andrew?
The dragon is no, unfortunately it doesn't.
Okay.
You've already succeeded on everything. You can see that. The dragon is then going to fly to be kind of hanging on the building right where Medea is at. So it is up in the air, though anybody who's kind of near it could still attack. It's not that high up, but it is.
But I get my
onto that.
attack of opportunity.
Yes, you do still get an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
It also doesn't matter because you already. You should have disadvantage because you're prone, by the way.
Advantage gets a paste, so it cancels.
So cancel that.
Uh,
Okay.
And
That's
the first one was a 20 anyways, so.
So that.
Does old bard get an attack of opportunity?
Yes, he's
Also,
prone.
prone doesn't affect dexterity saves.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, all prone does.
It's very dumb.
I really
Like
like
an
the
oversight
idea
to
of Medea just like slamming a pole
Uh,
arm on the
oh,
ground.
Flail
Up.
rolling.
Old Bart misses as well, unfortunately. The two of you on the ground are unable to catch the dragon as it
Can I say-
throws itself
can I say,
to the side.
Can I say, like, as they're both on the ground, Medea and Old Bart, like, share that look of, like, oh, hey, we're in almost the exact same spot.
They're like, Old Bart just like looks at you and is like,
Medea just
Of all the people to be trapped with.
yeah,
Of all the
Look-
people to have a shared experience with, it's this.
this person. God.
Yeah.
It is then your turn.
Medea's gonna stand up with half their movement. So they've got 30 feet of movement left. And they're going to hurl that last sunlight javelin. Pray. Ooh!
Hits the side of the building.
But at least
it
a
does
little
still
illuminates.
It does still illuminate the area, so the dragon still is in daylight.
Okay, I'll take the attack of opportunity and draw my spear, and I'm using the hasted action to throw the javelin. How is this thing flying in the air, or did it land on the street?
It's hanging. It's like clawed on the building. It is still in a spot where people on the ground can hit it because it's so large.
Okay, I'm gonna.
So it's perched, but it is still accessible from the
It's
ground.
not really perched. It's like clawed into the side of the building, like the side
it's my
of the
bonus-
building.
Oh.
As my bonus action, I'm going to tread my last potion of healing as well. I'm going to use a not to here. Bring me up to that, and then I'm going to hit it.
Sorry, let me do the attack of opportunity first because that could factor. I have to roll super well here. No, I miss.
Okay. And then Medea's just going to hit this thing twice.
I think I have to crit on a shadow to hit you specifically. Missing.
First. Okay. Missing. Wow. Really just cannot add
not
today.
going super
hell.
good tonight. Medea stands up, moving over, but the blows, they're landing, but they're just not. Its scales are so thick and strong that your blows aren't piercing through. You're not getting good strikes in. Did you want it? I think that's everything. Movement, action, bonus.
Yeah, that's literally everything. Yeah.
Uba, it is then your turn. I think you can't see the dragon technically, based off of line of sight. So you have to move a little bit, but that's fine.
I'll move.
Unless you wanted to attack something else.
No, I'll move first, and Kojin's gonna move too. I think all I can really do is keep trying to hit it with this longbow, so I'm gonna do that again. Maybe I'll actually roll good this time, but probably not.
There you go. That crit hits finally after several just arrows that shatter against it. You get a good one in. Do
Okay.
roll Hunter's Mark and Colossus Slayer.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have Kojin do their thing too.
Sure. So that's all going to be doubled.
So
Oh, it's
another
gonna be doubled.
Another
Okay.
D6 plus. Does Kojin's thing get doubled?
Yeah.
Oh, it does?
I will say yes. Why not?
Okay.
I mean,
So
might
it's-
get
Wait,
doubled.
what did it should?
So I should roll 2d6.
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty big hit.
That's
actually.
the first one.
so
That's the
10.
second one.
That's pretty decent.
Finally.
40 points of damage.
I think that's the first time I've hit it this whole battle.
You did a conjure barrage.
Oh,
You
that's
did
Yeah.
do a
true.
Conjure
but-
Barrage,
You
which
did a
was
third level spell's
had-
worth of damage.
had been more effective than any of the hits so far. This one does strike kind of in the neck, catching it. The dragon briefly looks at you and mentally seems to direct the shadows your way, at least one of them. That's you and Kojin, unless Kojin wants to run up and bite something.
Nah, Kojin can just hang out.
On the initiative count 20, the shadows are going to go. Yeah, so I think this one's going to move here. This one's going to move here. Then this one's going to move here.
Okay, that one takes an attack of opportunity
Yes, it does.
from Blockbuster. Are these things fiends?
No. Oh, yeah, you did go. Never mind. I was going to say use your reaction, but that's not true. They are undead. They are not technically fiends.
Okay.
But you still kill it.
Yeah, Medea just jams this thing straight through, like whatever the equivalent of its
this one
chest
had-
is.
Yeah, this one had been hit by, I think, magic missile.
And the wing attack, yeah. Did they ever take damage from that wing
They
attack?
did. It was very minor amount.
Medea's really feeling the groove after that life transference.
Okay, this
They're
one's
back in
going
it.
to attack old Bart,
Look,
which does miss thanks to old Bart's armor. He brings his shield up at the last moment, knocking it aside. Sulveran, this one's going to be against you. Great roll. Missing. And the last one against Uba. Also missing. Not
Ooh,
that great, but they are taking up battlefield space. The Shadow Dragon is then going to go. It is going to make the bite attack against. Actually,
but it had 2 targets in its breath weapon.
no, because the positioning, it can't hit both of them.
It could hit me and Bart.
No, I
It
don't
can't
think
hit
so
Bart.
for
He's too
the,
far around the corner.
Oh,
wall.
okay.
I think it maybe could hit you and Alveron, maybe,
hmm
if I angled it right. No, Alveron's too far.
It's like leaning to try and get its trajectory correct with its
Yeah.
like long neck.
yeah, like lays its head down, looks like a dog trying to
Pulls
play.
out like a tape measure. I don't think so.
The dragon,
Yeah,
like, I feel like
it
everyone
literally
has been
cannot
measured.
It cannot hit more than one person. Still, you guys are just too spread out and like too of like the exact perfect way for it to hit more than one person with its breath weapon. I
This
think
is how
it
you
is
dungeon
going
drag.
to, out of frustration, use it on Will.
What?
Okay. What? Not the one who's been hitting it with sunlight?
No,
On Will?
it wants to attack the spellcasters who are threatening to really mess it up.
No, no.
On Will?
I'm-
No, not Will.
I'm trying to taunt the DM and the dragon, truly.
I'm trying to.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. You take 46 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
How much HP does Bill even have?
75 normally.
Okay, I was worried.
Yeah, I'm pretty tanky.
He has 5 less HP than me total. That's insane.
Old Bart is going to
plus 3 con.
stand up.
Pretty fucking wild.
He will take a swing at this thing. See if he can kill it real quick. That's still enough. He kills here. Fortunately, has to move to. Would have gotten a better attack, although he knows it or used it. We'll use his second stroke. Actually, oh no, he already made one attack. He can't use his other thing.
This is our
I
last
was going to do
reload.
his wisdom disadvantage, but he can't use it. The second attack off of the scale, unable to connect through with it. Next is going to loop over. So the other two are hiding behind the thing. Actually, oh yeah, he can't really. Yeah, he will loop over to Old Bart. Kala, and then Will.
I think Kala probably ducks out of the thing and just casts the first level magic missile. Given that the way Kala normally attacks doesn't work when haste is up, kind of means that she just does magic missile.
Yeah.
On the
It's a
dragon.
living.
It still hits, still does damage. I assume you didn't mean to roll that twice.
It didn't. It didn't click to roll the second.
Let's go.
The first. Of course, the second one's better. No, 10 damage.
Okay. The magic missile is kind of against the creature's hide, dealing small amounts of force damage to it.
And then that's. Will steps to. I assume here is still in its range.
Yeah.
To not be a attack of opportunity.
Yeah, it's the corner with it.
She's like, her spell book like unfurls and presents her a scroll, and she grabs that scroll with her left hand, and with her right hand, she casts. I haven't cast this since session 1. She points at the dragon, and the whole world sort of tips on its side slightly, and then back, as she casts Vesta's Retching Royal on the dragon. I will output it. And then with my free object interaction, I drop a scroll to Torilus, and the scroll is Dominate Monster.
Ooh.
Let's see this thing save.
Nerd.
But falls prone.
Alright. And then I'm
Right off the
quite
side of that
injured.
building.
Oh, and it's incapacitated now, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a good first level spell. Hideous Laughter. And then I'm just gonna fuck off, given that I've used almost all of my abilities and given Torilus the actual scroll that Will wanted him to use.
No reaction or action on incapacitation.
Sorry, hold on. I forget.
So nice it doesn't have any more legendary resistances.
Really, that's why having Torilus is good, because somebody else is getting through them.
Yeah.
No,
I'll
I
move
wouldn't
back here
have
when you'll
used it on
remember.
the spell. Never mind.
They wouldn't have used it on the what?
Nothing. Don't worry. Alveron, then your turn.
That's the
Okay.
kind of foreboding thing you get for bragging like that, Ramona.
You technically have disadvantage, I think, on the dragon because it's prone.
We have disadvantage on the
Because you're
dragon?
ranged.
Because
you're
you're
doing
ranged.
range.
could always bonus action dash, run up and stab a bit.
No.
I mean, he's shooting from above, though. Does that still have disadvantage?
Yeah.
Per the way that 5e works, yes.
Uh,
Despite
So,
its massive
just-
size and everything.
Just so we're clear, I wasn't planning on range attacking this round.
So that's fine. I was just letting you know.
Let's see. Andrew, if I use my Misty Step bonus action to just fucking essentially not, because I know I would have to clamber down off this rooftop if I did it normally,
Yeah.
but with my Misty Step, can I supernaturally throw myself at the dragon and avoid having to take the clamber down? Because I know we kind of retconned my Misty Step from no longer being a teleport to being like an aided action. Can I just kind of
That's fine.
throw myself in the direction?
Yeah, kind of down.
Cool. And then I will use Booming Blade with this. So Booming Blade plus Sneak Attack. I know I need to land the hit to attack, but
So
I'm going
got
to go
Hex.
for it. And Hex as well.
You
So I'm going
get
to do
hear
that.
it.
And advantage because it's prone.
Yep. So I will make that attack.
If you crit, this will be monstrous.
See it.
Close.
So fucking close.
It does hit though.
Oh! All right. So Booming Blade will go off with a D8.
So it's D8 plus D6 plus sneak attack.
Yep. So let me just roll that real quick.
With your booming blade, pop it on the screen because it depends on the level for whether the damage.
No, it's a
It's
cantrip.
it doesn't increase
Yeah.
until 11th level. Yeah, for a cantrip.
No, but it does do a
A D8
D8
immediately.
thunder damage on the hit, and then
Mhm.
if it willingly moves, it's 2d8 damage.
Yeah.
So I
exactly.
get the D8 plus D6 from Booming Blade and Hex, and then I do get Sneak Attack because we have enemies around. So that's there.
19,
And let me just make sure. So
31 dead.
Hex, Booming Blade, Sneak Attack, Regular Attack, and I will. Well, I don't need to hold my reaction, but I do still have my reaction sitting in the background. So,
Yep.
And if I move, I provoke an attack of opportunity. So I will just hang out for the moment.
Also, Medea would have healed. This is like the last round where normal weapons are going to be very effective.
It
Oh.
gets a save with advantage against the prone the incapacitation part of
Yeah.
for taking damage.
Hey, I guess this is actually a general question. Is it better to move out of range and provoke the attack of opportunity and spend shield if it gets close to
It
hitting
can't
me, or
hit
should I
you.
just wait?
But
It's incapacitated. It can't do
you
it.
also can't move. You've spent all of your stuff.
I spent my bonus action, my regular action. I still should have my movement, shouldn't I? Because Misty Step is the bonus action.
Right.
Yeah, so you can move still.
That's true.
But then you don't
because
full
it's
move.
different. You can move a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Because of the
But
way
if-
that your movement works.
I will duck just enough to be behind cover if it releases the breath weapon, but that's it.
Okay. Yeah, you have 15 feet is what it is. Because of your different Misty Step.
All right, then I will just get behind enough cover that I'm not dealing with the breath weapon. But that's it.
Sorry, let me steal this roll from you.
Oh,
Let's see that dominate monster.
it's actually not very good. Beyond just stopping it having a full round. So it's very good, but it doesn't do an enormous amount.
Could you make the dragon with dominate monster dispel its own shadows? I wonder.
It's only charmed, so.
Well, it's
you can
charmed.
issue
It's
commands.
charmed.
You can issue it commands, and it has to take them though.
Yeah. And you can use your action to take complete control of it till you.
No.
Okay.
Holy
The one that it
shit.
succeeds on. Torilus holds up the scroll and begins casting, and though it can't move, in the eyes of the dragon, they like these purplish, hazy smoke coming off them eyes move about frantically, and it just is like, or you can see it concentrating with every ounce of its ability not to have this spell go off, and the magic goes on to it, but it just does not take hold in its brain.
Well, it's like you should never meet your heroes. It's disappointing.
Unfortunate.
It's then going to be Sulveran's turn.
How much life does this dragon seem to have left in it?
Oh, Torilus will move. Sorry, because why wouldn't he?
Torilus will. Fuck off.
A
Is
very
this dragon-
small amount because he's exhaustion level 4.
Does this thing seem to be like well beyond bloodied?
Yeah, I passed bloody a long time ago. It's severely injured at this point. So
Okay.
I think I just neglected to say that earlier, especially from Alveron's last blow.
All right. So everybody's asked what they need to ask.
Yes.
Okay. Then in that case, let's see. Do double check his distance here. Okay. We keep missing this guy.
Yeah, you guys have not
Oh.
been the ones who...
Alveron probably had the right idea earlier. So Sulveran is going to take his hand, and like when his hand comes away from his alpenstock, it's clear how much it was actually bleeding. And he is going to slap it against the surface of the oh shit, radiant damage. Give me a
Radiant
moment.
damage is good at the start of next round.
At the start of next round, I thought.
Yeah. It's the daylight I've been giving it goes away next round.
Radiant will always be bad against it.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
what I thought. A
Yeah,
radiant
I didn't
is.
think it was a spear thing.
Yeah, no,
I
radiant.
assumed it was one of those things. Well, when it was in daylight, it got
And
resistance.
speaking
to
of which, I should have said this earlier. You guys can make Arcana checks to figure out its deal a little bit better.
Religion
Okay.
check.
This will be Arcana for a specific reason.
All right. So, but the thing is, if I make the enemy vulnerable to the attack, it doesn't matter that it's resistant, right?
I think I have to double check the wording. Normally, it's like advantage, vulnerability, and resistance cancel each other out.
Okay.
I think with your thing, it would still be vulnerable because of the way it's worded.
Okay. Then in that case, yeah, Sulveran takes his like bleeding hand and he is going to slap it firmly against the crow emblem on his shield, and drag his palm across it. And when he brings his hand away, he casts the shield forth and delivers a second level, because that's all I got, guiding bolt. But it is visibly empowered with the shield itself, and it shimmers that color of a crow's nest or like a crow's wing, that black, blue, and purple. And as he does it, you see him stagger, losing his balance for just a moment before regaining it.
Wisdom save from advantage with incapacitation.
I love how the Shield of Mordain is formatted differently than everything else that exists in this game.
I know, right?
It's.
I think that's my
I think
fault. I think I need to fix it.
it is. I thought about changing it, but I was like,
I think
Whatever.
it doesn't get outputted very often.
it's never been outputted. This is the first time.
17 radiant damage is decent.
34, because it's
So
fun.
you have one ongoing failed save, and it takes 34 points of radiant damage. In this moment, the thing crashing against the shadows and piercing through deep into it. So Will and Uba both realize that part of the shadow, which I think part of the reason you maybe weren't seeing this or weren't paying attention to, is because the daylight was suppressing it. It has actually a spell or spell-like effect cast upon itself that has flame-like shadows wreathing around its body. This hasn't been going into effect because of the daylight spell. It will at the start of next turn. These flame shadows turn dim light within 10 feet of it into darkness, and bright light within the same area to dim light. It also gains resistance to radiant damage while the spell is up, and whenever a creature within 10 feet of it hits it with an attack, the shadows will deal 2d8 points of necrotic damage. That hasn't been happening because of the daylight so far.
Okay.
At the start of next time, it's going to be going. And only Uba and Will notice this thing.
Okay. Yeah, and it makes an save with advantage.
That's still not enough.
Still fail.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have 18.
I'm debating whether it's worth it to attack now or just let Alveron get it and go off and hit other targets.
It gets a save on it.
Please kill
True.
the dragon.
You only get one save. Alright, I'm gonna attack it. Does the daylight go away at the end of my turn or at the start?
It goes away at the start of your turn.
Okay.
Now-
I still have advantage, and I can attack normally in complete darkness just fine.
Correct, because black.
Yep. So I'm going to make my Javelin of Lightning attack at advantage.
It's,
Missing.
Off of the armor. Off of the scales of the creature.
However, it doesn't take damage, so it's still prone, so I still have advantage on these next attacks.
It's going to be prone no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it breaks the incapacitation.
Does it make the saves at the...
Yeah, it makes
attack?
a save straight away, but it does. But prone.
Right, but
it doesn't
it's
stop you being prone. It stops you being incapacitated.
it's per attack though, right?
Yeah.
Every
hits.
yeah. So it's only going to get the first one here. But how close does this thing seem dead on that first strike?
Pretty close. It is at death's door.
I'm gonna roll my smite then.
Sorry, it's not quite as effective. So it is still on death's door, but it's slightly more HP than that.
So it's going to take
Because
an extra 2 damage.
Now resisting your normal piercing.
Okay. So an extra 2 damage, and then I'm going to make my 2 other attacks.
Let me do the. So I don't forget. Rolling that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I should learn more of Vesta's spells. They're very effective. That's the thing.
Also-
Vesta's the true hero.
That is
Okay.
a great callback to first session. The rollicking,
Yeah, I think I failed that one.
Okay.
which is why this is great.
I'm just rolling a little bit too low. I just need a 12. Or sorry,
Well, you
13.
avoided Dominate Monster, which is like...
Yeah, which was the
a big
one
deal.
I needed to make.
All right.
It's
And then
still
another 3.
just
I love
barely up
that
because you're rolling.
For the
kinda
3
low.
damage that we're getting each attack.
Yeah,
This is getting so much. I like it.
there we go. 19. It's no longer
I
incapacitated.
know I rolled 3 1s in a row
It
on
is
my
still prone.
attacks. That's crazy.
That's terrible damage. You could have got to 0 if you had rolled better. But it has a thread left. Since it's no longer incapacitated, at the end of Medea's turn, it is going to use a legendary action to make a tail attack. A tail attack against Medea.
So Uba can just
Just
run and kill this thing.
Have disadvantage, but okay. Missing. Just as you block with your shield as it tries to come down. Uba, it is then going to be your turn.
Just try up and kill this thing, Uba. Come on.
I think I'm still gonna stick with my arrows just in case I miss, so I don't get my shit rocked. But yeah,
You have disadvantage because it's prone.
I think you have the second most health in the party.
Wait, is it?
Yeah.
You said it's prone still? I thought
It
I got.
is, no, it's the prone. It's no longer incapacitated.
It can't get up until it's
Yeah.
so you'd have advantage on melee attacks, which would, yeah.
Okay.
And yes, Uba does have more HP than Medea. That is a fact.
Yeah.
That I am 11.
if I run away from the shadow thing, it gets an opportunity to hit me though, right?
That is true. It will get an attack of opportunity.
I think I'll be fine. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna move over here.
Make that attack.
Coachin's gonna come with me.
Let's see those
No, I
hits.
miss. The shadow's not good in this fight.
Okay, so let's try.
Although, I mean, if one of those hits, it's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I didn't have time to put any poison on the short sword, and I think that's a whole action, right?
Bonus, isn't it?
It's a whole
Oh, I thought
it's a whole action to coat the short sword in poison.
Okay, so I'm still gonna use the short sword. It just doesn't have any poison on it.
See those 2 attacks at advantage.
Sorry. The short sword is a bonus action. Your dagger is an action because of the short sword.
Oh,
That's part
well,
of the
if
short
that's
sword.
the case.
Any other
You
weapon,
also-
it would be a full action.
You also have advantage on the attacks.
That's correct.
Gotcha. Okay. So if that's the case with the bonus action, I'm gonna do. I don't think I'm gonna use one of the like incredibly powerful ones because dragons have a nasty habit of coming back to life.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna try the serpent venom.
Before I forget, the cart is now fully on fire, and it was standing in the flames for a time, but it is immune to fire damage. I just wanted to make sure we got back to that.
Okay.
Okay. With Andrew, with all the love in the world,
Yes.
go fuck yourself.
I'm sorry.
But I do understand.
I liked the amount of time this party spends, like 10 minutes coming up with a plan that is bad, and executes a plan that is bad.
Medea
and then
came
we're
up
surprised
with a
every
plan,
time the plan is bad.
which was
I don't know that it has fire resistance, and if Alveron would know, I trust Andrew
No.
to tell me that Alveron would know.
I think it's an Alveron thing to do, but Alveron
Yeah.
would not know that.
my
I
plan.
just
I
wanted
Was
like Alveron's bad plans.
I just wanted
I
to
would
let
like to
Sean
say-
know that.
Medea's plan went
Andrew,
perfectly.
Andrew, as Alveron, I appreciate you. As Sean, double-fisted,
Okay. I deserve that.
Learn
I'll
if
take
you
it.
need
I'll
to.
take it.
Don't fist our DM in public.
That does
only in
miss.
private.
That one does
All right.
hit, just barely.
Okay, and then the serpent
Wait.
venom is 3d6.
Yes.
I
That
think.
sounds
Okay.
correct to me.
Okay.
Wonder if this thing has fucking resistance to poison as well.
Swear to
That
God.
would suck. Let me do my Colossus Slayer and Hunter's Mark on that too.
Without sunlight, it is resistant to all but 3 damage types, and I will let you think about which ones. It does go down from this attack.
Hooray!
Don't
Yeah.
spell attacks as soon. Don't spell effects as soon as something is unconscious dispel.
Not if it's...
It depends on the spell.
Okay.
And it depends on, like, if it casts a spell, yes. But
The
Okay.
shadowy flames do end. Actually, and speaking of which, I forgot to do this. Medea, you should have taken. You hit it 3 times.
Yeah. So 68. Okay, I'm fine with that. I resist this.
And Uba's going
16.
to take 2
Is it on attack or on hit?
on a hit.
So Uba only hit once.
Yeah,
Right,
I
but
missed the
it's
first one.
2d8, so they're taking 2.
Oh, you said I take 2d8 damage.
So 16.
Yeah, hits with an attack. So Uba, you take 10 points of damage as the shadowy flames lick back at you as you manage
Ow.
to stab into it. Medea, you took that 32, which is halved, of course, earlier.
Yeah.
The dragon goes down. The light dimming in its eyes. Before flaring back up, as all dragons do, the last reserves of its life force, not letting it die here. It shakes itself, still heavily wounded, but kind of is slowly starting to get up. Kojin could attack if they want to.
We actually no, because then wouldn't they take
That
two?
part is over. That spell did end when it dropped the first time.
Well, if that's the case, Kojin is clearly about to one-shot it, so let me roll that.
It would have to, I think, roll impossibly well to do that. It does hit though,
Yes.
and it does.
How much vitality does it seem to regain from this?
Less than a quarter.
Okay.
Okay.
Which is
So
still
we
a
just-
significant amount for how much HP it has.
Does it
It's probably-
cost an action to give Kojin a pat on the head?
No, you can always just do that. That's a
free object interaction.
Very, very important.
The shadows are gonna go. The two remaining. One of them's gonna attack Sulveran. The other one's going to fly at Uba. They just downed its master. I'll do Sulveran first. And then Uba. Uba 16 misses you, right? Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I think technically I have an 18. We just didn't put in the Cloak of the Desert.
You're such a squishy little baby kobold with your
That's great.
18 and higher HP than me, but I
Everybody's
don't
got,
think it's
uh,
shadow breath
10
in your
HP.
face.
The Shadow Dragon is going to stand.
Does it get its shadow breath back? That was
Well, I mean, you did ask. Yes, it does.
I knew. This is just something Andrew does with his dragons.
One big enemy. It's got to have something special.
It does.
At least there's definitely one shadow in range.
No! What is this?
It will.
Who's it aiming?
It will move slightly.
Yes, so Booming Blade should go off to 2d8.
Doesn't Booming Blade 3d8 now?
Sure.
For me, only 2d8, I think.
It's a
Let me
cantrip
double
that deals it's 3D.
It's moving so it can get three
yeah,
of
2d8.
these people in there.
It is only 2d8, yeah.
Okay, and we all get opportunity attacks, right?
Not Uba, but everybody else does,
Ah.
Okay.
including Max, who will take it.
I do
So
not
nice of
get
this
an
dragon to
opportunity
have
attack,
not
just
gotten
making sure, right?
Kojin in.
Sure.
Max bite
It just
dragon?
it
I
just
don't think
couldn't.
you would.
Max missed, but yes, he tried to snap at it.
Andrew, just making
Good
sure,
job,
just
Max.
based on proximity, I don't get an attack of opportunity. I only get the 2d8, right?
Correct, because it moved into you and not away from you.
Cool. All right, my thing's
So-
rolling there.
Let's roll that dex save.
Bart makes it, so he's going to take half. Somehow Bart still has the
Oh, I
temp
forgot.
HP from earlier.
No, that's only a minute. I took it
Okay.
off as well.
Oh,
That's why
it-
I asked how long.
Those,
That's
that's
why I asked how long it had been, because I thought it was an
so that's 21 damage instead, right?
No, 26.
You all, yeah, you all take 26. And if that takes you to 0, you just full die.
Wait.
I did have
53.
a good idea for a new character.
26, yeah.
Yeah, 53 and a half is 26. That's correct.
Marisa, Uba is not dead from taking 20
Yeah, there's no
points
way.
of damage.
No,
I
I'm
know
just
how
joking.
much hit points you have. I do the character cards.
I'm fine. I think math is hard. I'm not quite bloodied, but I think I'm close.
I do love
You
that my
you just took
here. That's
36
so
points of damage and you're not quite bloody.
Old Bart having just been slammed in the face with flame. Let's end this. It's going to attack twice. Hitting. Missing.
He gets his bonus thunder damage. There we go. Okay. 3 plus 5. 8 more damage.
Ella.
Slash 3d4 plus. Ella is doing that mental arcane math. As she steps out and just does another 10 damage to
This
it.
seems to do its normal damage.
Yes, force damage is the greatest type.
Will.
You've got loads of psychic damage on that character. Come on, buddy.
I'm thinking about.
Pick the right spell.
Well, I'm thinking if magic missile is the right spell, and it just might
It
be.
might be in this scenario, from what you have left.
Nothing has shown that it doesn't. That it resists cold damage, right?
Yes, but
It
Medea would
hasn't
have
shown
told
yet.
you- Medea would have told you, because I got this beforehand. I knew which damage types, like how this ability relatively worked, and communicated it. That Medea thought only Radiant, Force, and Psychic would really do anything when it was like this.
Okay. I'll cast the second level magic missile then. I guess I won't do the.
I mean, you could do
Just
it.
this-
It might do more damage. You'd have to math that out.
Yeah.
It depends on how well you roll, I think, because the Hellstone Barrage does do a lot more damage mathematically than casted Met. It depends on how you roll.
You also have to hit with Hailstone Barrage on a 19 AC.
That's true.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good at hitting. I'll do magic missile. If I have the information, there's no way Will wouldn't do the thing.
16. All
There-
right.
I rolled well.
It is closing back down on death with all these new blows. It will use its legendary action here.
Hold on.
Yes. Sorry.
I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna fly away because I'm already in very bad shape.
It's gonna try to hit you. Is that fine?
Yeah, that's fine.
Bite attack. Oh,
I'm not in such bad
it
shape.
hanged on a 19 for a second there. Okay. Well, it won't tail attack you, which is what it was gonna do. I think it will instead tail attack. Actually, no. There are tons of people around it. It will spend 2 to wing attack. I always do this. I need.
To make the deck save, but Uba gets a +3 to this.
That's true. So does old Bart. Who saves.
Shadow also has to make the save rate.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, but I will make it. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong bonus. The shadow failed. I didn't mean to roll old Bart again, but with the 13 plus 5, it does.
So this is Kojin and Alveron and Max as well.
Oh yeah, I guess I should do Kojin.
Max got a 12, so they failed. A small amount of damage.
Kojin is so much better at fighting than Uba is.
Sorry, I've clicked the button several times. It's not rolling the dexterity check. I'm just gonna roll it myself.
Sure, that's fine.
Of course. Let me check something real quick. Oh, we haven't had a short rest since then. Never mind. I do fail it. Yep. Okay.
Okay, so you're knocked prone. And
I
you
am.
also take the 14 points. Uba, you are knocked prone and you take the 14 points of damage. Seeing that most of the people around it were knocked prone, will move half of its movement, flying 40 feet this away.
Oh, it's running away.
Yeah, it's almost dead. This is the point where it needs to get out or die. It is then going to be Alveron's turn.
Well, people still get attacks of opportunity, right?
Oh,
Even
correct. Yeah, sorry. Even though it,
Andrew?
you're just at disadvantage.
Old Bart's would be at normal, wouldn't it?
Yes, although he just rolled a 1.
Andrew,
Yes.
just to check real quick, it moved before my turn again, right?
You do. Let me double check. I don't think that goes
That
off
would be very
twice.
cool if that's how Booming Blade worked.
It doesn't say it only goes off once. It says if they move before my new turn.
No.
That's true.
They
The
take
target
the
takes
damage.
1d8 thunder damage, and the spell ends. Is what it says.
Okay. Yeah. it's just-
You are correct. You are correct. All right.
Let's see your.
Thought I
let's
had
see-
you.
No.
Thought I had you.
Thank you. Thank
Alveron,
you.
I believe you can
Because
make
that
this.
could have made the difference here.
Yeah. Also, Kojin still.
Kojin also gets an attack. That's correct.
Oh, true.
Alveron,
Let me do a
okay,
bite
one.
attack.
I'm good
Alveron,
with Kojin going first. It's okay.
Yeah.
Aw,
So
it's
many
okay.
nat
They're
ones.
tired.
You guys rolled a lot of nat ones this fight. Or this
Alveron has
session, actually.
yes.
Ramona, what are you saying?
If Alveron hits, I think it could kill.
You would get sneak attack because when you're
Yeah.
making the attack, it is still next to allies.
Yeah,
you
you gotta
hit.
kill it. Uba wants some dragon scales.
So am I making a melee attack before it moves? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, at disadvantage because you're prone when you make it.
So I can't take half my movement to stand
No.
up.
No,
I have
it's an
to take it
opportunity.
at
This is
disadvantage.
happening before your turn starts.
You're just
Okay.
desperately stabbing upward, man.
I do believe though I can still add booming blade, correct?
No, that's a spell.
It is you can, for opportunity attacks, unless you have, I think, Warcaster, you can only make a melee weapon attack as part of the reaction.
Understood. Then I will make the melee weapon attack. Sorry, at disadvantage, so I will roll it a second time.
I was going to say that hits.
See the
Fuck!
second.
That one misses. Nobody hits it. Did we get everybody? Does anybody else get one?
I think
Got
that's
Max, Uba, Kojin. No. It
No.
moves away. Torilus,
Spike, I have
Have
He can-
cantrips left.
he can just get there. He
Yeah.
does have a magic missile.
Hold on.
He deserves this.
I want to be sure. I'm so sorry. Maybe this
That's okay.
is just because I've gotten confused with the turn order.
Yeah, it should be Alveron.
my turn actually happen?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're totally right. It is your turn. I got
Yeah, you could
confused
make a
because of all
longbow
the
attacker
all the
too.
thing. It is your turn. Thank you. Thank
That
you
makes-
for catching me on that.
Okay, all
This
right.
time you got him.
That's totally me. That's totally my bad.
Legendary
Then-
actions are hard.
That was a very long legendary action. So
No, that totally was. I'm not upset at all. I promise. I'm just
Okay.
I want to make sure that
Right.
so totally make sure that I'm tracking then. What is the sequence of events right before it is my turn then?
So
So that
Will
you
moved
missed
away. It used a wing attack to knock everybody down and move.
Okay.
Everybody their attacks of opportunity. Then you're going.
Okay, so I can use my movement to stand up,
Correct. Half
Mhm.
movement.
and then I could drop my weapon, draw my bow, and shoot, correct?
You could. You don't have line of sight, but you
You could bonus action dash.
could bonus action dash into line of sight.
Okay, so I could stand up, I have half my movement, use dash as my bonus action, move into line of sight, and then shoot with the bow.
Correct.
Okay, just making sure that I'm
No, that's makes sense.
understanding. Totally correct. And I just want to make sure. Okay, if that is the case, then yes, that is 100% what I will do.
Wait,
and I just
if you hold your action, you can get a sneak attack on my next round. If you hold your reaction until I'm in range, because I can get there. And then you'd be able to sneak attack on a hit.
You can get there.
I can. I have haste and I can use the hasted action to dash.
Do they have any
also,
more?
how would
I
Alveron
would
know
take
that?
the I would take the
Oh,
shot. I feel like
that's-
that's getting metagamey. At
Yeah,
that
that is
point.
a little metagamey. Fuck yeah, it is. I mean, unless Medea could use an action to or not use an action, but could call out. I mean, if they could call
Technically,
out.
Medea doesn't know where it is. They're assuming they can get there in time.
Yeah.
And you're kind of. I know we're having initiative, but technically this is happening relatively at the same time.
Can I make an intelligence check to see if Medea would think to yell that out as a free action? Would
I'm
that
going
be
to say
fair?
no. I think that's just too metagamey to
Okay.
have
Understood.
Alveron wait on that shot.
And Andrew, I totally support it. I support the ruling. I understand what you mean totally. All right. I will. All right, I will move into range, and then I will make the attack. Let me just make sure I don't have anything else to spend. That is
Still got
movement.
hex on this at least.
I do. I do have the hex. Let me just make sure of something. I'm just checking abilities. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay, sorry. Steady aim doesn't count.
No, because you would have needed your bonus action.
I know. Yeah, I moved, so no worries.
I think you just got to make the shot.
Just gotta make the shot. It's cool. It's totally good. It's totally cool. All right.
Not quite enough as the arrow.
Literally, did I miss it by one?
You did miss it by one. As has happened several times in this fight now.
Would that have killed? I'm curious.
The Alveron Sickle.
I won't
Torilus
say
has
because
magic
it's
missile,
still
right?
yes. Torilus does have magic, so I won't say it because you guys.
Okay.
He moves just barely enough. He just barely has the movement to get there and cast magic missile.
The NPC gets the kill. That's
Hey.
fine.
It would make sense.
I think
for
he
Torilus to
deserves
get
it.
the kill.
Torilus, yeah,
He-
Torilus.
he's had a bad
He's
life.
been through
He
some
only
shit.
has the second
He
level
has-
spell slot. That's the max.
He has
can
admittedly
cast.
been through some shit.
So
What level?
it'll be close. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, you forgot that you got to type it every time.
Oh, that's stupid. I'll keep that 4. I feel like he deserves that.
So it'll be 40.
It should be 4, right? So I'll roll
For
another-
level
Yeah.
2?
yeah.
40. So, yeah.
Yeah, 44.
Okay, so I'll roll another 3, and we'll keep the 4. So it is still 20.
What is this nonsense?
You
I've
rolled
been
back.
throwing magic missiles this whole time.
I just
kill?
rolled 4 4s in a row. That's amazing. And you know what's even more amazing? It has 20 HP.
Stupid Torilus.
Oh my
I want to
god.
be disappointed by his ability.
I was like, he's not going to get it, so Medea might be able to get the kill. Because I did not think he was going to roll 4 4s in a row.
I think Sulveran probably.
I mean, Andrew, I want to give you props for honesty, but my sense of drama hates you in this moment. You know what I mean?
So Torilus, kind of limping over the corner. I don't think anybody hears this except for maybe Kella and Kala. He kind of just says, "Not today, worm," and he like throws the magic missile with every last bit of like arcane power that he can dredge up from within him, and it just thumbs into the back of the dragon's skull as it slides, crashing into the ground here, dead. The shadows don't go away, so they are still there. Sulveran, it is your turn.
So Sulveran's spiritual weapon just swings forward from where it was last. And strikes out at the fellow with him.
That does still hit.
Alright. Does it?
It doesn't quite bring it down. This one hasn't been hit at all. You've just been ignoring it.
Alright. And then he's going to follow up. Let's see. With Word of Radiance. And he just he's had it with shadow creatures. He just snarls, "Get back!" And as he speaks, a glow issues forward. Word of Radiance.
It does save.
Okay. Then that's that.
I'm gonna blend these motherfuckers.
All right, Medea.
Will it blend?
But you all do hear the dragon crashing down and seeing Torilus kind of like clutching himself as he limped over, just nodding back at you guys.
Medea nods solemnly, looks to see how old Bart feels for a moment, and then turns and blunt, like attempts to kill these shadows.
Old Bart's not. He's getting close to bloody, but he's still okay.
Old Bart betrays us and starts murdering Medea.
Just like stabs, takes all your
Yes.
magical gear and leaves. That does hit.
Does that just kill?
No, not quite. They have more HP than that. This one also has not been. Actually, no. This one has been hit by the thing.
It took
but
14 from.
It's still not enough to kill.
Okay, I'll make another
That
whiff,
misses.
and then my last one.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Medea just cracks this thing over the head and walks over to this one, and then that's my turn.
All right, Uba. You can just kill it if you want, but you can go ahead and roll it too.
Yeah, the one that's near Medea is the only one left, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess I'll roll for it, but
You only have to hit it once, and you only need a 12.
okay. Uba chucks Hunter's Mark over to it just for extra dramatic flair, and is gonna do 2 longbows. See if I can. Oh well, maybe just 1 longbow.
It does got it. As combat ends.
Woohoo!
Medea's going to race Ush to pick up their spears before haste ends, the lightning spears, and then is going to immediately, as the haste I imagine dispels from the end of combat, just sit down on the floor for a second.
Kala and Killa will run out. Torilus will limp slowly over to the rest of the group.
Will comes back and is quite no like visible wounds, but on her left eye, the entire sclera has gone black and like rippling with this necrotic energy that's still like bubbling into her system and hasn't come up yet.
Medea's going to walk to Will, and will just dump 30 points of lay on hands.
If Will can put up a hand and say, maybe save that for if it's more important than this. And like she'll try and stop you using it because we might have a point where that brings somebody back to life. Then it's more important than
my phone ran out of power exactly as it got to that point.
That's okay.
I had to switch to desktop. Medea will say, if we're going to leave, we need you at your best.
We'll just manage this for the last little bit. Sorry, guys.
Alveron is going to start to rejoin. I'm going to impose something on myself. I feel like, especially since Will has line of sight, Will might be the only person who sees it. But Alveron is going to make a con save. And for the first time since he was 14, Alveron has a bout of seasickness. Because he just used his sorceress background that is... So, for anyone watching, Alveron took a dip at 9th level instead of Rogue Swashbuckler. Alveron took Sorcerer to get more in touch with his sorcerer's background. And I believe that, quite frankly, right now he has lost his sea legs, which Will would definitely notice. But I believe Alveron should definitely have to make a con save right now to not lose his lunch as a sailor.
That's pretty low. I'll leave it up to you.
No, I mean, DM, it's up to you. I mean, I think DC 15 is totally fair.
That was in my mind as well. So we'll say you almost catch it. Like there's a moment where you think you've got it and you're gonna like push it back down, but it onto the floor. Everybody else is kind of looking at each other at the party. I think Uba and Will would notice based off of passive perceptions.
I think
Uba just says, ew.
Yeah, I think Will is kind of saying to Medea, like, don't do this, and puts her hand up, but is distracted by Alveron. Clearly, like that's a thing that Will has seen sometimes, but it's weird that it's happened to Alveron, and just accidentally touches Medea's hand and takes the lay on hands through the palm. And it's like, oh, all right, fine, thank you.
Yeah. For Will, especially being another sailor, it is like, it's obviously sea legs. It's not like post-battle adrenal dump or some other nonsense. It's like it's obvious. This is sea legs, and there's no reason that Alveron should have his sea legs for a moment. But also, probably Will in the fight would have seen Alveron cast a spell he has normally not been casting.
I was standing on a roof, like just
Yeah,
opposite you, watching you cast
pretty-
a very bright guiding bolt. I think we'll say, all right, we should leave. This city has we helped the people we kind of sort of needed to help. Got Torilus. We should
I
leave.
totally meant to do this. Jack, can you roll me 2d20? I meant to do this before the fight.
Yes.
I think you missed
Here
it.
it comes.
The Duergar, when I rolled, the rebels lost the fight just barely.
Oh.
Yeah,
Holy
I think
shit!
you can tell what happened to Arya.
Sure. Do you want me to decide what happened to Arya? Is that what you're saying, or I can just tell what happened?
Yeah, you can relay us. They do, like they don't make it,
Yeah.
but
I
in
think
a
there's just
suitably
a
dramatic way, I think.
Yeah, I think there's a bit where Arya is trying to save maybe that Duergar wizard and like jumps in front of some kind of maybe like do they have siege weapons at the front of the thing?
They have some
Like the
ballista,
ballista?
but not like
Yeah.
full on.
She jumps in front of the ballista and it kills her, which turns her to snow, and the ballista bolt just fires straight through into like the face of the wizard, and he also dies. So in that last moment, because she wasn't
Perfect.
real enough, she didn't save the person she was trying to save because I rolled so badly on these 2d20.
So sad.
Alright, I'm gonna get wish, and I'm gonna wish Arya to
Be a real
exist.
girl, to be a real person. You all kind of coalesce again, and Old Bart kind of concurs with Will, saying, "Yeah, we should get the fuck out of here.
We need to leave now. Like, right, we need to split.
Oh,
The shades will be
also,
on us in any second."
Yeah, let's just get
Can
going.
someone make sure that Alveron is Alveron?
Old
I'm gonna
Bart
roll
glances
insight.
that way, and unless somebody else like takes up the call, we'll start to walk over there.
God.
Medea will walk up to Alveron as well and is like, Medea is also just like, you all right? You did magic I've never seen.
So, as you're walking up to me, when Will says the bit about make sure Alveron is still Alveron, like that anger that you've seen flare up in Alveron kicks in again, and that seafoam green eye kicks in. The sword goes back as if it's ready for a strike, and Alveron is as Alveron as you've ever seen him. And he is scared, and he is hurt, and he is upset. He is still himself, and I mean that in the best way possible. I'm so sorry I got distracted by the tail wagging in Andrew's background.
Sorry.
It's okay, of all the things to be distracted by. But Alveron seems very much himself, but he doesn't know what's going on so much. But his eyes, you realize, are a different shade of seafoam green than they've been.
Having this reaction, Old Bart goes to like reach out for a moment, but actually Kella, who had walked up mainly next to Max, who they have kind of become paired with over the course of this journey, Kella kind of beats him to the punch and just like places this child's hand upon your forearm, looks you in the eyes as you kind of like notice them doing this. And they just kind of hold your eyes for a minute, like gaze and gaze. I'll have them roll an insight check. Shit. I'm not particularly good at this. Yeah, they don't know what's going on with you, but they just want to help. And like this is all that they can think to do in this moment.
I think Will watches Alveron's reaction, like the entirety of this span of emotion, and just says, "All right, we'll deal with that later." That's clearly Alveron. And then turns to Sulveran, who's just not there.
Yeah, I will say that since there were multiple people checking on Alveron, Sulveran, out of some sense of paranoia, but also like not okay with these purple eye things, went to check on the dragon itself.
It seems dead and still not moving, covered in stab wounds, magic missile scorch marks, all these various sources of damage like cover its scales. The shadows around it no longer warping themselves into this armor. It seems plain. You can make me an Arcana check as well.
Okay, and I can still make the Arcana check. I'm not concerned about the bonus, but from a religious perspective, also at this point, Sulveran is kind of like holding his bloodied shield and kind of touching the feathers that he's got still tucked in against his cloak and the chest of his armor, and he says, "I'm not in imminent danger of dying, but would you share your knowledge with me?" Um, and I'll turn that instead of a religion tech check into a guidance, I think.
Can I?
Haha! Arcana of 5, but guidance of 4. For nothing.
So you wanted to guidance the Arcana, or did you want to make a religion check after this?
I mean, originally I wanted to make a religion check, so I would still prefer the religion check if possible.
You can make the religion check. The Arcana check was I just wanted to see if looking at the dragon you noticed any other specifics about it, but you don't.
I noticed nothing.
You also rolled badly on the religion check.
Yeah, I noticed nothing.
Andrew, just with the direction I'm taking Alveron, I want a bit of this to Alveron, what seems to be this demon's blood. So I'm gonna go up with the saltwater stopper that I have, and I am going to collect some of the demon blood in with the saltwater. Blood and saltwater have a connection, anyways, with the natural salinity. But I am going to collect the both into that stopper. I'm gonna bring it together, and I am gonna collect some. I have thought for where this goes, but
you move over to go do that. Totally fine. Sulveran's doing everything. Torilus and Kala are kind of walking over. Old Bart doesn't really go to stop you, but he does say, looking at you as you walk over, he says, "We don't have time for this. We need to leave."
Yeah, I think Will says to Old Bart and everyone, just you start leaving and I'll pick up the curious stragglers. We'll catch up. Torilus is slow anyway.
Old Bart does pause for a second and gives you a look like, "Are you sure?"
The look that Will gives back to Old Bart is, "No, but I have a commitment to these idiots."
He nods in understanding before, getting everybody else, as many of the people who are not stopped, to continue pressing on towards the walls.
And then I'm gonna fly over with a dash and just say to Sulveran, "You think somebody probably needs to be carrying Torilus so we can get out of here quickly?"
Sulveran doesn't reply, but he's already immediately moving on. He got what he got, nothing, which about par for the course. And so he's.
I can start carrying someone if they need to.
Yeah, and Will doesn't say anything to Alveron.
Well, Medea just picks up
everybody
Torilus.
else is leaving, but
yeah. Will doesn't say anything to Alveron, and just wait till he's.
Medea and Old Bart are kind of both helping to carry Torilus, since he is, again, too heavy for either of you individually to carry without slowing yourselves down.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody else, because this does take you have to cut into the creature a little bit to squeeze blood out. So it does take us a minute for this to happen. Everybody else is kind of moving on. as you and Will kind of stay behind to do this really quickly. You don't have to make any rolls or anything. You just gather up vials worth of this Shadow Dragon's blood. Will, you can make me an Arcana check to see if you notice the things about it. You're also pausing to look at it. No, never mind. 15 is actually okay.
I'm actually intentionally, Will is not using this time to try and learn anything about the dragon. She's watching Alveron, so the moment Alveron starts to move, she starts to move.
Okay.
Like she just I don't think she cares about this information.
Okay, well then I just want to give it to you.
Yeah. I would prefer, I shouldn't have made the roll, but
Can I throw something out there? Will Alveron is worried that there is something in his past that makes him demonic. That's what he's trying to figure out. Alveron is intensely worried or intensely scared that what is in his background or what is in his past is dark and malevolent in nature. And that's why he's investing as much time as he is into trying to figure this out.
I think Will maybe pieces that together a little bit from the reaction before and everything, but doesn't like this is something that it's clear Alveron needs to do to like the detriment of getting out of this dangerous situation. So Will is like just letting him go through the process he needs to go through. And will leave because she can fly over the buildings while you get around. So we'll make it back. But I will file that away for when we are in a safe place that Will is willing to talk about to people.
Will is willing. You guys hastily beat a retreat towards the walls, and you can hear behind you clear sound of Duergar and maybe other creatures arriving just as you're getting out of sight to the scene of the battle, and probably going to the dragon and trying to, taking that in that moment, which gives you just enough time to move on. You get to the walls where you were, and I think you guys did not leave a rope on this side, only on the other side. You went down the stairs, was my recollection. I know it's been a while. So you...
Yes.
Will just floats up, checking left and right. Everybody else walks up the stairs. Will, you can see below you what before was a chasm, like moat-like chasm, huge, spanning, and pitch black, is now full of small bits of firelight, purple, and you can hear sounds of creatures milling about, demonic, snapping at one another, pushing, almost as if before everything in this area was asleep. Now all these demons are, and they are demons, are awake, kind of moving throughout this pit. They're far, far below the bridge, but they are there. Everybody else gets up to the top and begins to descend. We end with you guys arriving back at the bridge, and we will pick up from there at the top of next session. All right.
That was a good session.
Thanks everybody for playing. Thanks everybody who was watching. We'll be back same time, same place next week. And